Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. This is episode 104 of our Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon crawl, Halls of Arden Vul by Richard Barton, using a heavily modified version of the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome. Tonight, I am John. I am your referee for the evening, and going around the horn, we have...
Hello, I am Mike. I am playing Brother Lothar, the 7th level Cleric of Odin.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt. I play Wulfheard Cheek. Got 6 levels of fighter and 1 level of sexy mother. Shut your mouth.
I don't know how to follow that, Matt. Hi everybody, I'm Ted. I will shut my mouth. But after I tell you that tonight I'll be reprising my role as Mortis J. Gobliano, 7.999999 level goblin.
That's correct. So David is dead to us tonight once again. So we will not be joined by Upior. We have 2 retainers with us, the redoubtable Elizabeth and Barrios, our druid and our beastman. It is the 22nd of Gelenios, and it is 8:30 in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on the 22nd. Couple of logistics things. First of all, as Ted indicated, Mort has enough XP to level up to level 8, which is the capstone for goblins. All he needs to do is rest safely. But until that point...
and not die first.
And not die, correct. Yeah. And he'll have topped out. Second thing I want to go over real quick is that actually just today, Matt and I hammered out what we're going to be doing about the girdle of giant strength in relation to Wulfheard having gone up to another bracket with a weapon mastery. So what we decided to do, or what I decided to do, is we're going to go with the Osric version, which I can show the folks at home real quick. It's the belt of giant strength is what they call it in Osric. But this is what most people kind of remember the girdle of giant strength being, which is something that there's different kinds that are based upon different kinds of giants. In OSC, it's just a general one. It didn't quite work that well with my house rule of weapon mastery of class hit dice being your base weapon damage. The AD&D version actually works better. So it is on the lower tier of the belts. So this is a heal giant strength, but still pretty awesome. So it's going to give Wulfheard a +3 to hit and a +7 to damage. And it also allows him to throw boulders like a hill giant. So he still gets to use his weapon mastery based damage, which for him at level 7 is now 3d8. He just gets to add 7 points of strength damage to that, plus any magical bonuses that he may or may not have, depending on the weapon he's using. So yeah, that's the deal with that. Pretty simple. Last thing I want to point out to the players as well is if they head over to Miro and they zoom out to the picture gallery up on the top, I've added some pictures of pretty representative pictures of some of the races that you guys have encountered recently. So we can have a little bit more of a look-see at these.
Cool.
I'll put these up for the folks at home as well. So starting from the left there, we have the Hecate. Kind of see like the pebbly skin, right? The upright salamander sort of vibe to them, right? They're pretty nasty. The Kalyani, which is the most difficult to describe. I thought these were great pictures of them. So if you zoom in there, you can kind of see what we're talking about, where they have sort of serpent-like heads, but they've got like 4 eyes, 2 on either side, right? The sharp teeth, and then they've got the 6 arms, right? With the stocky build.
Look nasty.
Yeah. The rudishva. This is actually a really cool picture. I love this picture. Wearing a typical jumpsuit. You also get a bonus iris door in there.
Yeah.
So that's a typical rudishva officer. And then the Varamani, right? The trolls. That's more like a Varamani spellcaster. And then the Vararuda, which is another one of the servitor races underneath the rudishva hegemony. Are sort of bipedal bird-like creatures, much uglier than Aarakocra, but Aarakocra is probably the most close analog that you can see. But so all of these guys, except for the Hecate, are all alien races, right? The Kalyani, Varamani, and Varuda were all servitor races underneath the Rudishva. The Varamani are now the dominant species in Arden Vul. They are the only ones that really survived and flourished after the Kalyani allied with the Hecate to overturn. To ambush and overthrow the Rudishva hegemony. Got it?
Got it.
I got it. That is super creepy, too, just to think that there might still be some of those Kalyani crawling around in these halls somewhere.
Right. Yeah, they're ugly.
Creepy,
ugly motherfuckers.
creepy looking dudes. Yeah.
They're the ones that sort of had the most affinity for the magic in this world on this planet, right? And we're able to harness it.
Okay.
Just want to keep that in mind. All right.
Okay.
Going back down to map 9, down to Goblin Town map is where we've been sort of doing these little rudishva module jumps.
Yep.
And you're going to go to the one that says detention block because that's where we are now.
Okay.
So the party right now is went to the detention block thinking that the detention block was equivalent to the cryo chamber, which they found a long time ago. Ended up at totally different areas. The detention block is a new place. They were going to go down the steps towards the west when they saw a whole bunch of bodies, some of which looked very demonic. And said they noped out of there real quick and headed east, heading into some natural caverns. Heard some rats. Found some rats actually down there in the southern part, and they found a phased rudishva area that led to an iris door to a complete rudishva room. Which is where they are now. Actually, I don't know why I switched away from Miro. Okay, so they are right here.
Yeah.
And let's see. So this room that you're in, you're in a bit of a problem right now because you have what appears to be a 4-armed rudishva dancer made out of stone, 8 feet tall, has animated after Lothar tossed a torch in to see what would happen. That guardian immediately animated and is heading right towards you guys. You guys have not stepped into the room yet, so we have yet to roll initiative. Real quickly to give you refresher on this room. Even though it is small, it does have a lot of interesting stuff in it. So it is clad in octagonal black granite. So it is not a white plasteel room, but is definitely of rudishva make. There are no right angles. There is a 10-foot by 10-foot table in the center. And the top of it is a piece of black glass, a reflective black glass. There are several stools that are parked around the table. The northern and eastern walls have consoles that dominate them. They both look to be relatively identical. However, the northern one appears to be in much worse disrepair, much worse disrepair than the eastern one. Both of those consoles are made of orange plasteel, and they have about 20 or so octagonal buttons with glyphs on them, plus several knobs and joysticks. And then in the corner in between those two consoles was a pedestal upon which this 8-foot tall Nataraja, I just gave away the name. It looks like a rudishva guardian, basically, was crouched and then animated. The other thing that you noticed offhand before, at the last second before it was animated, was that underneath the eastern console, like underneath it, was something rather large that was wrapped in oilcloth. That's sort of been stuffed in there. And in addition, there is a passageway that leads out of here towards the south, but you have yet to step into the room to sort of see where that leads or how far down it goes. So that is the deal. So this thing animates. It has like this kind of pillbox hat on top, a permanent rictus grin of sharp teeth, right? Eyes unblinking, almond shaped, just like a rudishva, but made out of stone. However, it's completely animated. So one of its hands is empty. The other 3, one holds a scimitar, one holds a clay pot that appears to be smoking, and one holds a drum, like a small little drum, like a little bongo drum, right? And it sort of leaps like on one foot, sort of kind of dancing towards you. And don't forget, it's like really fucking big. So it definitely looks like it doesn't want you in here. So declarations. No need for melee movement. Any spells going to be cast?
No spells right now. No.
Okay. Let's roll for initiative then, please. I got a 5.
Who's up?
Matt's up.
I can beat a 5. There are
Come
a
on,
lot
buddy.
of numbers higher than 5.
Beat that 5.
Well, I got a 4, so that's not one of them.
Damn it,
Okay.
Kyle.
All right, let me get to the thing here. All right. Sorry. I don't know why I'm not prepared for this, but I wasn't. Okay. Just marking a thing down here. Don't you worry at all.
Can anyone really be prepared for a moment such as this?
Not really. I could have, actually. Why are you not fast forwarding? There we go.
When an 8-foot tall dancing statue wearing a funny hat attacks you, there's really not a lot of precedent.
We got to get that hat for David. It's like we
David must have the hat.
Is it a stone hat or is it like it's actually wearing a hat?
It's a stone hat. Sorry.
He could wear a stone hat.
Chiseling, carving can't take care of.
Okay.
We need that spell. Stone to wool. Turn it into a proper fez for him.
8, 7. All right.
What do you guys think? Beat a force? Let's pin it down. No, we gotta smash it.
Why don't we see if the bones work?
Jockum's
Let's
bones.
see if the bones work.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see how tough it is. You can give it a couple of pokes.
He's like feeling frisky now that he's got he's doing 59 points of damage per hit or whatever.
Hey, let me check and see what my class is. Oh, it says fighter.
Okay.
I don't even
Sorry
know
about
her.
that. I thought it was weak on this guy, but I had forgotten a couple things. Okay, so it comes leaping sort of forward as it sort of gets it kind of hops on top of the center table. The black glass does not break or anything like that, but now it's like towering over you, and it hops up on one leg, and it takes its empty hand and it puts its hand into the clay pot, comes out with a ball of fire in its hand and tosses it at you.
What a
That's
jerk.
rude. That is so rude.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so all of you guys are outside that door there, so it just chucks it right through the door, and that's going to be.
Doesn't somebody have some sort of fire resistance thing going or something?
It ran out.
No, I'm out. I mean, I had a potion, but I ran out of it. I'm curious to see if my armor does anything though. And he's wearing that Phoenix armor.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if it seems like
Push him in
something
front.
might happen.
We all hide behind him.
Okay, so this little ball of fire goes over your heads and explodes on the ground, causing fire to immolate everything all around you guys. I need all of you guys to make saving throws versus breath weapon, please.
Versus breath.
Oh, good. That's my good one.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell yes. It's a 19.
Okay. Wulfheard fails. Let's see. Got 13. But so Lisbeth has a thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up 1 second. Oh, you know what? They're little balls of fire, so it's actually not an area effect. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you.
Okay.
You guys will be at the lower end of the die. That was a 6, so that one doesn't count. That was a 3, so it's going to be Wulfheard. You're the only one making the saving throw.
Okay. Well, then I failed it because I rolled
my 19. I'll give you my 19.
Okay. So
can I have his 19?
You're going to take 10 points of fire damage, Wulfheard.
Ouch.
As it just goes right up in your face, just right at your feet, and you're like, oh, fuck. But it doesn't stick. You know what I mean? You're not going to keep taking damage. It's like a once thing.
The armor doesn't help him?
The armor does not help him. Nope. The armor does not respond to the fire either. And then it leaps off at the same motion that it sort of throws that fire. It leaps off and swings with another arm coming down with a wide arc with its scimitar at someone who is not going to be Wulfheard. I'm going to say that. Well, it might be Wulfheard. Realistically, who would be the two people that could fit in the doorway? One would be Lothar because he tosses
Arios
torch.
are probably in front. Realistically, if it's not,
Lothar was the one that tossed the torch, so I would say that Lothar is probably up front. Realistically,
that makes sense.
Or with Mort next to him. I don't know how wide is the Irish door.
Well, it's wide enough for two. It's wide enough for two, so I just need one other person that would likely have been there.
Yeah, it's Mort.
Mort. Okay. All right. So between the two of you, it's going to be Mort. Mort, what is your AC?
20.
20. Big miss. You see that blade coming, whistling down. You easily step aside. It is now your turn.
So he's in melee range.
Yes. So both Mort and Lothar in melee. Wulfheard, you're in the second rank, and wherever you guys want the retainers to be.
Is it so crowded there, John, that I couldn't push through my guys and go around to the side to get in the room?
Or to the point, I didn't declare movement, but can I move into melee, in the sense of Mort and Barrios come in and fan out as they attack.
It's taking up the doorway right now. It's quite large. It's
So
8
it's
feet tall.
right in the door.
You guys can talk.
Okay.
You can easily just sort of say like, "Hey, I'll move back if you want to move forward," and just do that. But
Doesn't a spear have some reach? He can't. Can
it
he go
does, yeah.
over?
He could go over. Yeah.
Yeah, I could go over Mort. Yeah, Mort's short.
Mhm.
Go over more.
Okay.
Go for it, man.
All right. I am going to make my first roll here. Oh, lost one of my die, but that's
Classic.
Sloppy dice,
All
drink.
right.
Yeah.
All right. That is a 17 to hit.
Let me check. Hold on one second. It's going to be a no. That is a miss.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
All right.
Yeah, it hops nimbly out of the way of your spear. Sees it coming.
Mort's going to take a poke with the pin. That's a miss. If a 17 is a miss, then a 16 is also a miss.
Correct. Yes.
Lothar, you have to save us.
Come on, Lothar.
Lothar. Lothar will take his big mace and he will swing at it. But I don't think that it's not an undead, correct?
It is not. No.
Oh, well, would you look at that? I rolled a 7, so I don't think I'm going to hit it this round.
No. So it hops nimbly out of all of your guys'
Yikes.
concentrated attacks as you weren't prepared for it to kind of close the distance so quickly.
Yeah.
At the top of the round, declarations, melee movement spells.
Do you want to get
Elizabeth.
one of the other combatants in, Ted? Should I step back so that like Barrios or someone can get in there?
Well, Barrios can jump in, and Elizabeth should get the bones out. We need to declare
Okay.
that.
John, then my movement will be to swap places with Barrios so that he can be in the front line.
Okay. What about Wulfheard? You going to stay in the second row?
Yeah, well, can I get like to his side so that we're not all bunched up there in the
Yeah,
in
you
the hall?
cannot because now Barrios is going to be. Well, you could just instead of Barrios, you could move in. Lothar has declared that he's going to be moving out.
Okay, I'll move in. Barrios can stab over. So
Yeah,
next
Barrios
time
has a spear as well.
Okay, cool.
I can
All right. So
scooch beside, and
no
Elizabeth
spells?
will take out the bones. Yeah,
okay, cool. All right, roll for initiative, please. I got a 4.
I lost last time.
I
I got it. Oh, I got a 2.
Okay.
Damn it.
I rolled a 5, but hey.
So we have We've got Wulfheard and Mort up front now, right?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. All right. So instead of tossing the fireball, it's actually going to take its bare hand and it's going to go boom, boom on top of its little drum.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And I need all of you, yes, all of you this time, including the retainers, to make save versus spells, please.
All right.
Okay.
This is a magical effect, so if you have like a wisdom bonus, it does apply.
Okay.
Nice. My wisdom bonus saves my ass. I got a 13 and my save is 12.
Mort made it, and Barrios failed.
Okay.
Lisbeth failed. Wulfheard passed.
Okay, so who failed? Elizabeth and Barrios, both the retainers?
Yeah.
Okay, so both retainers are the drum. It unnaturally sort of resounds like a boom, and it sends out like this sort of sonic burst, and it stuns both the retainers where they lose their actions for the round. They cannot attack. In the meantime, the other hand comes down with the scimitar again, randomly because it didn't hit one of you guys last time. So we have Morton Wulfheard. Here we go. Wulfheard, what's your AC?
Well, unless the ring mail is doing something fancy that I don't know about, it's a 15.
Okay. It's an almost. No, it misses. Okay. Yeah.
Yay.
So it scrapes across your armor. Yeah. Okay. That was it. It's you guys' turn.
Mort. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
All right. So that will be 12 points of damage from the pin, and it has to save versus spells or be slowed.
That's the pin. Okay.
And Barrios can try and stab over my shoulder, and that's a miss.
He does save.
Oh.
Barrios
Wulfheard
can't attack. He's stunned.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, and Wulfheard misses. He rolled a 5 on the die, so that's just a 14.
Dang.
Okay. So
Yikes.
dodging Wulfheard's blow, he runs right into Mort's pin, and it does seem to affect it. The magic seems to penetrate into the stone, chipping away a big chunk of it.
Hoorah.
But unfortunately, Laryl does not manage to slow this creature. Top of the round, melee movement spells.
John, despite being stunned, does Elizabeth's bones chest do anything? Is she actually able to wield it?
She is not able to pull it out. She is stunned.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I skipped Lothar. Lothar, what are you doing?
Taking coffee at an inopportune time, apparently. Will, Gian, I don't have anything ranged. No one's injured yet. I'm fine. I'm just gonna keep my shield up and guard.
Okay, you don't have a missile weapon or anything like that?
I mean, I do. I have a sling, but I'm also using a melee weapon and a shield. And I mean, if you think I could shoot into combat or over people's heads, then yeah, I'll take a shot. But
you would have to switch it out, and even then, you would have the danger of hitting your friends.
Yeah, that's why I'm just gonna be ready to like hit somebody with a spell if they drop or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
top
yeah,
of the round, I have
Wulfheard did take some damage, but he's still all right.
top of the round.
Let me know when it's
Declarations.
critical.
We have melee movement and spells.
If we can't move past this thing in the doorway, then I don't have any movement to declare. Unless we want to try and lure it in so we can really dogpile it. Although you didn't.
I have a feeling, Ted, that it's guarding this room.
Yeah.
And if we pull back, it's going to stay in the threshold. I mean, if we had more powerful like ranged weapons, that might be okay. But I think it could then still just attack us with fire spells or whatever.
And we don't know when Barrios and Elizabeth will be free of being stunned.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right. No declaration.
No melee movement. No spells. Okay. Initiative. I got a 2.
I got a 4.
Turn. No, Ted's turn.
Okay.
And I got a 4.
You guys win.
All right.
At the top of the round, both Barrios and Elizabeth managed to shake off that sonic blast. They sort of shaking their heads.
Sweet.
So pulling out the bones is not technically a spell, Wulfheard. So she can do that this round. She didn't need to declare it again.
Okay, she will do that now.
Okay, cool. So when she produces the bones and opens up the coffer, right, and kind of produces the bones like in a safe distance away, you do see that the guardian actually does sort of like take a step back. That doesn't disengage, but that just means for flavor. Like you can see that it's definitely affecting it. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mort will press the attack. And he will miss. Barrios will stab over his shoulder. And Barrios gets that's a miss also.
Okay. I got to check one thing with protection from evil.
Unless, if it's AC changes, then maybe I have to recalculate that. But
what do we get here? I got it here.
Okay, so because you guys pressed the attack against a creature that was warded against, warded by the bones, that protection that prevents it from attacking in melee is broken. So it can continue to attack you in melee, but you still gain. So it doesn't. It's not affected by the -1, and it is also still able to attack you in melee. But you guys still get the +1 bonus to saving throws against attacks or special abilities of the creature. Understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're fighting it, guys. We're like committed.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm rolling like garbage. I just rolled a 4.
Yeah.
So that is
I'm not doing too good here
going to
either.
do it.
Okay. So yeah, it's a little bit of a whiff factor thing going on here, but Mike, you're good.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Everyone seems like they're okay, right? Like there's no. Okay. Yep. I'm good.
Okay.
You don't have any magic items you've forgotten about you could pull out and.
I'm looking
Like,
through them, man. I mean, no, not really. Not at this point. I don't have any scrolls or anything that would work on this.
I suppose we couldn't really petrify it, huh?
Why not?
It's turn.
Okay.
So it's going to use 1 for the fire pot against one of you two up front, and then whatever one it doesn't hit with the fire pot's attacking with the scimitar. So fire pot, it's going to go for Wulfheard again. Wulfheard, make a breath weapon.
Okay. Let's see. Breath is. Where's my save? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, so you get a +1 for this because of the Jockin's bones.
8 does not help. I still fail with an 8.
Okay, you're going to say 16 more points of fire damage. Wulfheard is definitely getting a little singed here. Not looking good.
He's
Meanwhile,
very singed.
the scimitar comes down on Mort. He
Okay.
has an AC 20. Is that correct, Mort? You
AC
said?
20.
AC 20. Okay. And misses. I'm not rolling good with their normal attacks. Okay. That was bottom of the round. Top of the round. Right? Yeah, top of the round. Declarations.
Okay, I'm going to cast a spell this turn.
Okay.
All right, I'll be
All
doing.
You don't have to tell me.
Okay. Well, all right. I do. I want to prep you for this because it's on a scroll that we found, and it says cure critical wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's not an OSE thing. That's an Osric thing. Because
That's
so
fine.
should I just count it as a cure serious wounds though?
No. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Anyone else
Okay.
doing any spells or melee movement?
Yeah, Lisbeth will set the box down for a second and do spells. She will do a spell.
Okay, Elizabeth's doing a spell. Okay, cool. All right, roll for initiative, please. I got a 6.
Matt, you're up.
I also got a 6. Matt's not up because I won last round.
Good for
He
you,
won
Ted.
last time.
Oh yes, Ted.
All right, to roll again. I got a 3.
I rolled a 6 again.
All right, it's your turn.
Nice.
Go for it.
My Gary Con dice for the win.
Very nice.
All right. Mort does not like where this is all going, and that's more like it. Another 20. Unfortunately, he only does 8 points of damage.
8 points. Okay, definitely affects though all the way through.
And Barrios,
Chips off more stone.
I think that's only a 12 to hit. That's a miss for.
I should just telegraph the ACs as I'm supposed to do. His AC is 18.
18. Okay,
All right.
so Barrios missed.
Barrios misses
All
over,
right,
over Mort's shoulder.
Wulfheard, singed, eyebrows smoking. That'll hit. That's a 19.
That'll
Nice.
do
That's 11, 18, 24 points of damage.
it. This is with the magical
Hits.
spear.
Yes.
How much damage?
24.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yep, he rolled well. 18 plus 8.
Yes, you did. Okay, so Wulfheard finally enough with this shit, and you just ram the spear directly into it. It doesn't drop, but you can see the thing is does not like that at all. I mean, its face doesn't change or anything like that, but it definitely stumbles. It actually has to get down on 2 legs instead of just one. So yeah, you really fucked it. That's 24 damage. It's no joke. Okay, Lothar, Elizabeth.
I will do my scroll, and I can tell you where I found the scroll. A cure critical wounds.
Yes, Q critical is going to be 3d8 plus 3.
Okay, 3d8 plus 3. That's an 8.
Oh,
That's a 2. And that's a 5. 15. So 18 points you heal back from that.
Nice. Thank
all
you.
right. The power of Odin compels you, Wulfheard, to
I
continue
mean, it's a
fighting.
rando scroll that I found. So, I mean, it could be power of anybody, right?
That's true, actually, yeah.
And Lisbeth will also do her
So take away that
cure light wounds. Yeah.
Take away that scroll,
Yeah.
Lothar.
I am. No, the scroll still has other spells on it. So I'll just delete that spell. For
Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, another cure light on Wulfheard.
And she rolled a 5, so that's 6 more points. He is back up to full, baby.
Oh,
no, wait,
shit.
no,
That's-
almost. He's 27. Not bad.
Okay, great.
27
All right.
out of 29.
That was top of the round, bottom of the round. We're going to do the same thing, fire and scimitar at random with their 2 combatants up in the front. Fire is going to be Mort this time. Mort, I
All
need you to
right.
make me a saving throw with versus breath weapon.
goblins and saving throws.
This is not
Please.
magical.
Then it is a save.
You made it.
I made it.
Okay, so you're going to take half damage. You're going to take 10 points of fire damage.
Jeez Louise.
Mm-hmm. Still hurts.
Thanks for
no
using
matter
all
what.
your spells on fucking Wulfheard. Jeez.
And then Wulfheard, your AC is 15, is what you think it is.
As far as I know, yeah.
It hits,
Ouch.
and you're gonna make me look up that scimitar damage now, aren't you, you bastard?
You don't have to. We can just call it like ouchies, and
It's all about choices, John.
No, I insist.
He's so noble about these things. He's willing to put the extra mileage in.
Okay, here we go. It's going to be, all right. That's going to be 10 points of damage, Wulfheard. Just when you're feeling good, he opens up your midsection and some of your guts go piling out.
Back in later.
It's a very old pinata.
It's a spoopy sound. Okay.
A little bit of dust comes out, probably.
Yeah, he's got it out for you. You guys are holding the line. Giving you the benefit of the doubt because it's top of the round again. Declarations where you don't have to hold the line if you don't want to.
No.
Declarations.
I say we kill it.
I'm trying to see if I need to drop another spell on you, buddy. Do you need it yet or no?
He's down 10. Couldn't hurt at all, especially if we miss again, right? So he's
all
at
right,
17 out of 29.
Casting a spell. Okay, no
Not
melee
from a
movement. Okay, give me initiative, please. I got a 2.
I rolled a 3.
Very good.
Doing
it. Right. Let's drop him. Mort goes in for the kill, and it's a hit with let's see, that's 8.
The pin
was 8, so 16 points.
Oh, Mort, you have dealt the killing blow. As a small little pin goes right into the Guardian's eye. And it sinks
probably can't reach that high, John.
That's probably true, but you did the killing blow. So you leap up and get it into its eye and
there we go. Nice.
Drag it down to the ground on top of you, and and you have to pry yourself out from underneath. Amongst a slick of blood and fire-scorched stone, most of which is Wulfheard's. Well done.
Hey.
Sweet.
Wulfheard, do you want to just have your druid heal you then? She got it?
Yeah, she can do it. Yeah, she can do it. She'll cast Cure Serious on him for 2d6 plus 2.
Okay. Using up all the cures right up here in the front end.
8, 9.
It's almost as if we needed another nap right away.
Okay, combat always takes a turn, so that's now 8:40 a.m.
Okay.
Nice bracing combat to get the day started. I actually did accidentally say the name of it, but I'll just give it to you now that it's out there. The rudishva called this kind of guardian a Nataraja, so Nataraja, and it actually holds like a spiritual significance for them, like that figure. But that's why they would carve guardians in the shape of that form, basically, because it has spiritual significance to them. Nataraja is what those are called. Cool. So, so now you're left, just big stone thing. It has not crumbled into pieces, so it's still kind of a whole thing. All of its, so the scimitar and the drum and the pot are not the same stone that it's made out of, right? Like the pot's probably made out of like clay, sort of, you know what I mean? But they're actually like usable things that the thing could use, but you are not able to, like, once it dies, the fire pot no longer smokes. Like it's basically just like a interesting relic or something like that.
Got it.
Scimitar likewise is I would say only Wulfheard could use it effectively. It's so big. It's like a Final Fantasy VII sort of sword. You know what I mean? It's big.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's made out of stone.
No, it's an actual blade, but it's not like magical. So you could take it. It'd be a big fuck off scimitar. It'd be 2 slots, but you'd still deal your normal 3d8. It's a cool weapon. You look like a badass.
Hey, Elvis.
Elvis decided to breathe heavily into the mic. You got something to say there, buddy? You got something to say? Just kisses, huh? Okay.
What a good boy. What a good boy.
Right. Everyone got the Elvis sighting. All
right. Except for people on Spotify.
That's right. See what you're missing, Spotify people? Got to watch the episodes, man. All right.
Man, we're beautiful.
Okay. So, so everything's quiet now. You can still hear I guess probably because you had the battle right there in the doorway, that any remaining rats in the room that you sort of were standing in have probably all scattered. So probably not hearing any more rats. So everything's pretty quiet now.
Except for the sound of Mort's victory teabag dance over this thing.
Yeah.
Well, John had made a point that there was some sort of object wrapped in oilskins underneath the console.
100% want to check that out.
Yeah. Plus the table, the stools, the consoles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So John, we do the thing.
We're going to do the thing.
Okay.
The thing where we search all the stuff.
Yeah, we search all the stuff. Get all the loot. I'm going to very carefully though, just to spell it out. I will creep over to that oilskin whatever the object is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use like the end of my mace to kind of like, if the wraps are not tied, to kind of flip it up and see what's underneath there.
Okay, so it looks to be actually of like it's been like a package, so it's sort of been wrapped carefully in oilcloth.
Got it.
So you would almost you wouldn't be able to like lift it up with the tool. You'd have to kind of pull it out.
I understand.
Yeah.
Hey, you with the sharp thing, come here.
I'll do it. Mort will come over and use the pin to open the package.
Okay, so you pull it out. It's a rather bulky thing, but it's surprisingly light compared to what the size of it. When you open it up, the oilcloth, you see underneath there's a very strange a piece of clothing, which you assume must be rudishvan or alien in nature of some sort, because it certainly doesn't look like anything from any of your cultures that you know. It's an all black, flexible jumpsuit, and I'll just tell you guys this, your characters wouldn't know, but it's constructed of ballistic fibers.
Ooh.
And it has the chest, back, thighs, and upper arms are all reinforced with lightweight plasteel plates, all black. And so, as you can kind of surmise by that description right there, it's like riot gear, basically. You know, good thing David's not here, because David would probably burn it immediately. But it is. But yeah, it's like it's a very lightweight but very functional modern piece of armor. Yes.
I'm assuming there's no way that could fit on a goblin. Just like no way. Not even one of the plates.
It would be, yeah. I don't think it would fit on a goblin, unfortunately.
What if I
probably
told
wouldn't fit
you
on
it was,
anybody, right?
it was my birthday? Would you do it then? Would you make it goblin sized if it was my birthday?
If it was your birthday, but I know it's not your birthday because I know when your birthday is. Nice
Oh
try.
man!
So you're trying to do
Well,
something.
it could be my birthday. We could say it's my birthday, and you could make this goblin sized.
It's obviously made for rudishva, but I would say that even though rudishva are taller than humans, that it would fit like human elves, that sort of thing.
All right, John, I'm gonna lay it out on like the table, and I'm gonna wind up with my mace and hit it directly on like where the plates are, and see if I like can crack it or dent it or like whatever.
Okay. Okay. Actually, there is a thing for that, and I have to roll a die.
Oh, here's
You
where I
break
explode.
You ruin it.
Okay,
Here's
so
where I
yeah,
explode.
you try to do the Gimli with the one ring sort of thing, and you crack it with your mace, and your mace sort of bounces off of it, surprisingly tough. It does leave a scratch on the armor, though. It looks like, even though it is like non-fragile armor, like any armor, that its age itself may make it a little bit more susceptible to breakage than it probably once was at the time. But that chance is very, very small.
Okay.
So why don't you put it on and I'll try to stab you?
Well, would the
just test it
coverage,
out.
John, be like equitable, like the plate coverage equitable to like plate mail?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
could just telegraph that. So it's not magical, right? It is a piece of it's technological, right? And there's no electronics working through it. You know what I mean? It's just very well made stuff. So when you put it on, it actually gives you a base AC of 20. And in addition, it does not. The way they wrote it here is it does not limit movement. So what I would say is that it. I would say it takes up. I'd say it would take up a slot, like a single slot.
Right. So right now I'm wearing Arcanti and Lamellar, which is AC 16 and takes up 2 slots.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just overall just going to be a better thing to wear, correct?
Yes, but you would look. Yeah, it would. But you would literally seriously look like a modern day riot cop
With a robot eye.
with a robot.
And
eye,
I'm
that's right.
sorry, but that's
The selling point, John.
yeah. I'm now the Terminator. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I put on the armor, and I will go and crush my enemies. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do with the old armor?
All right. So do any of your dudes need really good Arcanti and Lamellar AC 16? Takes up 2 slots.
Does it fit goblins?
And I don't think druids can wear. I think she's stuck with leather. I think that's kind of her deal.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
we can.
no, if you're not going to wear it, just leave it here.
No, let's put down the carpet, throw it in a slot. We can give it to somebody else.
Yeah, you can run it back to the
Think of
stash.
company.
Might as
I
well.
like it.
Okay, if you want to do it to the stash and then also donning the new armor, I'm going to say that that combined takes a turn.
What should I call this armor, John?
You can call it a tactical suit.
Tactical suit. Not a Rhodesian tactical suit.
Whatever it's definitely Rhodesian, so feel free to call it that if you like.
So John, while he was doing that, playing with his new suit of clothes, I want to check. I don't think there's much on that statue. He'd look at the back of it because we haven't really seen that, just to see if there's any like control gem or something on the back. But
there is
if not, he would start taking a look at the two control panels because he's got the helm on.
Sure.
To let him read.
Totally. One last thing, Lothar, for the armor too. I forgot to read it. You gain resistance to fire and cold wearing it as well. You'll take half damage from both of those.
God damn.
Yeah.
Man.
We might need to kill Lothar.
Mr. Girdle of Giant Strength. Holy cow.
531.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so the consoles, Wulfheard, when you kind of pop over there, as I said, the northern one doesn't look great, right? It's looking pretty rough, but it's twin. It does look like the same sort of thing is on the eastern wall. That appears to be much more whole. So you can kind of gather that there's like, it's dominated basically by like a set of like octagonal buttons. There appears to be about 20 of them or so, right? Each of them has a series of glyphs on them. And you can kind of, so each of the glyphs has like a name on them. Let's just roll. I'll roll 2d12 and I'll give you a random thing that you sort of see. Let's see, 13. Okay, so one of the ones that you spot says exercise room. Another one says game room.
Jeez.
One says Plaza of the Veruda, right? So it's obviously like locations of somewhere, some way, shape, or form.
I bet it's like a surveillance thing. You hit one of those buttons, it activates security cameras, and the glass table is going to give you a holographic projection of the room.
Yeah, I will in fact do that. I'll hit Plaza of the Veruda.
Hit Plaza of the Veruda. Okay, so you push the button. When you push the button, it lights up. And in addition, you hear a noise occur at the table. Looking over your shoulder, and the rest of the party can see that actually sort of projecting upwards from the glass table somehow, magically you would assume, is a 3D holographic image of the location. Let's see.
Does it show it? Does it show it in relationship to anything else, or like in its phased position, or if it's like an original position as part of the ship? And that's probably what you're looking up.
I mentioned it's real time showing you the room.
Yeah, it's just kind of showing you what you would. I don't even know what. I can't even find this goddamn Veruda room now. What did I roll? I rolled a
Plaza of the Veruda, I think you called it.
Yeah, I know, but now I can't find it. God damn it!
I can look up a different one.
Oh,
that one's fuzzy.
I found it.
Okay.
Wait, but why is it?
Oh, getting hacked.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so so it's a a miniature image of what appears to be this room in a 3D space, so it looks like a room with several doors. There's a pool and a huge statue line the wall. Let's. Oh God. Okay, give me a second. I need to actually see the room here visually on my own map. Where are you? Room that.
It takes a while for it to come into focus, I think, is what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
okay. So it appears to be like an octagonal room, similar in size to the one that you found Adrianic's tomb in, right? However, there are a number of doors, but not as many as it was before. But there is definitely a pool along one facet of the octagonal room, like a hemisphere pool. There is a statue about 20 feet tall of a crouching Veruda. This is the bird-like creature. It's crouching on its powerful legs with its wings cocked in a halo above its head. Statue is still brightly colored. Although you probably wouldn't make that out in sort of like the whitish blue hologram that you're sort of seeing. And it's in quite a large chamber itself. Like it's about 60 feet tall. Wow. Okay, 60 feet. Geez. Okay, vaulted ceiling with blue granite sheathing on the walls. There are the corpses, what are obviously 4 dwarves that lie battered and smashed on the floor of what appears to be otherwise dust-free. And there is a wide, and the whole thing is sheathed in black granite, similar to what you've seen before. In the room that you're in, actually, is sheathed in that black granite, but you've been in another place that had that black granite as well. And you can see that the room opens up into a very wide road that leads out of the room as well, which you recognize previously, that had those waist-high friezes of the rudishva, right?
Where we saw the shadows or wraiths or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm, yeah, looks very, very similar to that area.
Interesting.
Okay, when you move the joystick, Wulfheard, that's on the console, it actually rotates the still. You can rotate it in 360 degrees basically on the table.
What he'd be curious to look for is there any opening that is similar to that last octagonal room that we were in, where we can see a pool of that silvery goo, or the hallway that leads to the shaft? I want to try to see if I can make a connection.
No, but you definitely making a connection that, okay, so you remember in the Adrianics area there on the southwest, there were those doors that were sort of open that led out into like the Heketi like pillar sort of thing.
Right.
And they were very, very wide. That same width is egress both out of the north end of the room and the southeast portion of the room, and it goes along that black hallway sort of thing. As Mort said, it's like very similar to like the same sort of frieze sort of thing that you saw with the rays. There's a pool in the northwest corner. There's an open door on the west, and there is an iris door on the southwest and another door on the south. But nothing like that you're asking. Nothing resembles what you're asking about.
Okay, but that big wide hallway is in the northeast.
There's two. It looks like this room is like a juncture room. So you would come in maybe from the north along the road, like this wide road, about 20 feet wide. You'd be in this room, and then you could exit out of the room to the southeast, and the road continues. Okay.
I bet, guys, I bet that's on that same level, just to the north, and that connects into that hallway with all the gray hoppers.
So, for that to be useful knowledge, though, like you said, putting it into relationship to where we are more concretely would be helpful, such as, do any of the buttons, are they numbered? Is there a key? Is there a map? And are any of them labeled with names that are like, oh, we've probably been there kind of thing, right? Like, Hall of the...
Okay, so none of them are numbered. All of them just have a name on them. But yes, there are many. There are a few that actually do have names that you recognize. So I'm just going to whip through like what the names are specifically. Okay. So we have weapons module, Plaza the Veruda, translocation hub, the cloister. Oh God. I added these like little post-it notes, and it's like they're killing me. Adrianics chamber.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Octagonal Hall of Justice. Lock Cavern. Residential.
That might be where we found the controls to those guns.
Residential.
Sorry, John.
Let me just whip through it. Residential pod. Game room. Exercise room. Floating garden. Engine room.
Yes, thank you. There we go.
Control hall. Detention cells. Bastion assembly ground. transit shaft, point defense array control niche,
That's the area, Ted, with the
Go
guns.
on, yeah.
containment units,
Eh,
pagoda,
Goda.
science station, and bridge.
Can we have a look at the engine room, please, Matt?
Yes, please. Yes, I pressed the engine room button.
Okay.
Do I have engine room?
All right. You have no reason to believe that this is lying to you. So you get an image of what you must assume must be the engine room. So an extremely large chamber. The outer walls are painted in gunmetal or off-white plasteel. There is a deck around that surrounds this sort of rectangular area that is about 20 feet above the floor of what appears to be the drive well. So in the center is what is the drive well. There are ladders that lead down into the well, but the well itself is crowded with these what appear to be, well, you're not really sure what they are. They're cylinders, very large cylinders. There's 6 of them arrayed in order, and they have wires and let's see, they got like blue plasteel tubing. There are lights that are periodically blinking on them, and let's see, yeah, so that's basically the deal. There's like a deck that sort of surrounds it, and then it's like there are these ladders that sort of go down into this pit where these drives are sort of being kept. And there's like row of 3 and then a row of 3, 6 total. Now there is an iris door in the southern end of the room, and standing right near that door, with its back up against the drive well, is another Nataraja statue standing there still.
Bastard. Oh, dude, I wonder if your bracelet would have turned that thing off.
Damn
it.
This doesn't seem to be like, technological. This seems to be magical.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, everything looks very technological. What you're seeing? The engine room?
No, turning off
the stone guy.
Oh.
Well, now what we need to do is figure out what gets to the control room. So there's no map button.
There's no map button. So the Nataraja is standing about 10 feet away from a small iris door in the southern wall of this chamber. On the opposite end, on the northern wall, there appears to actually be a natural breach about 5 feet wide or so that heads north out of here. So there appears to be, what you can see, just based on the hologram, is that there are 2 points of egress. One intentional, one not. Then there on either end of the drive well as well, there are 2 large like consoles with a bunch of buttons and stuff like that.
Okay.
You said the joystick will move the camera angle around, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
If we look around, does there seem to be any other thing moving in that room? Like if we look down into the well?
Actually, when you move the joystick and you sort of move it up top, so you're sort of looking directly down into the well. Now the well is perfectly sized so that it can perfectly fit these 6 drives, right? So there's not a lot of room to maneuver. However, you do get a glimpse of something that is not geometric in nature, right? Like that's sort of squashed in between these cylinders, these large cylinders, and it looks to be skeletal in form, large skeletons that are down on the ground. And one of them appears to be holding, let me just make sure I got the right one. Appears to be holding one of the portable Nucoder 1000s, the iPad.
And does anything look like oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't remember the name of all the buttons you just named, John, but was there one that said like conference room or surveillance room or something?
No.
Okay, what happens if you push, for example, Plaza of the Veruda and engine room at the same time?
Okay.
Nothing happens. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that looks apparent in the engine room that fits the description of the drive shafts that we were supposed to get? I mean, maybe they're in those 6 cylinders that are around the catwalk.
Yeah, you're supposed to get a drive rod.
Sorry.
But you're not seeing anything that looks particularly portable. These drives that are in the well are quite large. They're let's see, 10 foot in diameter, 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Each one of them. So they're really fucking big. And to be clear too, they're actually made out of plasteel, but out of clear plasteel. And you can see that they're filled. I'm actually not going to give you. I keep forgetting to not give you the color because it's like a hologram. But you can definitely tell that they're all filled with some sort of like viscous gel inside.
I figure we'll have to get a rod out of one of those, or there might be one.
Glue is always good. Yeah.
Now, when you find a focus, when you kind of see those skeletons lying on the ground, and you sort of zoom in as much as you possibly can, right? You do see that down in the bottom of the well, like where the base of each one of these drives are, there is like a panel on the bottom of them. So like they're not like clear from top to bottom. Just most of the length of it is clear. So there is like a portion of it that actually does appear to be like solid on the bottom that you could manipulate possibly.
Okay.
Okay.
John, I want to push the button for the transit shaft. I want to see if that's the shaft that we were using to go up and down.
Indeed, when you do that one, you actually see you see the room that you recognize, which is the destroyed room with like the broken chairs from the explosion, the scattered remains of the skeletons, and the litter-strewn base of the transit shaft.
Okay, so it's real time, like it's current.
Real time. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And can I use the joystick to go up?
Not the shaft, no. It's actually from the point of view
okay.
from like where if you were sitting in one of the chairs, sort of like in that room, looking at the transit shaft.
Right.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be a camera sort of thing somewhere.
We should. I want to push John. I want to push some more of these buttons just to see, because if we're looking from the perspective of those chairs, it should be pretty fast and pretty easy to see if we can see that dwarf pinned to the wall of the transit shaft, and then we could get a name of one of these places that the
sure, yeah. So whipping through the buttons real quick, you can confirm that none of them show whatever room that would have been.
What does the containment room show? Is it what we thought was the detention center?
Yes, it shows the cryo chamber.
Still
undisturbed. But when you remember,
undisturbed.
Whenever
in there.
Is that where you put him in the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in there.
Okay, so where did you put him in one of the pods?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
About
We
that.
were hoping it was going to regenerate him.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen. So
He's probably in there right now.
No, he's very dead, but he's decaying. He's definitely decaying. There's a little bit of like God knows what that's at the base of that pod right now. Yeah.
Kind of running.
All right. So the place that we haven't been yet, the one teleportation pod that we haven't tried, takes us to control. I want to push the button for control hall and see what that looks like, because it might give us a preview of where we want to go.
Yep.
Sure. I totally did this. I thought I was being slick with all these little notes, but I'm totally regretting it right now. Because I got to like open each one up to sort of see which one is the control room. And sorry. You know what? It's actually past break time, so why don't we take a break and I'll figure this out, and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so you press the control room glyph, appearing on the black glass table, is a holographic image of a room sheathed in white marble this time, but still with no angles, so definitely rudishva. There's an 8-foot wide walkway that circumnavigates the room above a sunken area in the center. There are steep stairs to the north and the south. On the east and west walls, on the upper walkway there are large black mirrors that have been appear to have been struck with great force. They're cracked and fragmented. In the center of the sunken area are 2 rows of consoles and weirdly shaped plasteel chairs. You've seen these kinds of chairs before. And between the consoles are another pair of large black sort of like mirrors. You kind of know them as sort of view screens now, right? Most likely. There are signs of battle everywhere. There are scorch marks on the walls. There are broken stone spears. There are skeletons that are slumped over chairs or over the chairs and the consoles. Bits of metal, glass, leather, and plasteel are scattered everywhere. And there is a pool of some sort of blackish slime that covers the floor of the sunken area. So it's pretty nasty. So like that sunken area that was in the Star Destroyer and in like Spaceballs, right? Like where like like the officers could walk along the gangway and sort of look down on. That's sort of the vibe you're getting, except this one sort of circumnavigates the room. The sunken area is in the center. That sunken area is filled with like some sort of slime on the bottom, but not enough that it doesn't cover the consoles and the view screens down there and the skeletons. Like that.
Okay.
I'm thinking that if the control room is not showing the bridge, the control room, I wonder if is used for the control of the enslaved races. Like it was something like that.
There is a button that says bridge.
Yeah, I think more like this feels to me like this is some sort of like battle damage. Like the slime is like he already described like that clear liquid that was in something else, right?
Obviously it's battle damage. I'm saying what's the point of a control room if you have a bridge? It's for controlling something else. Oh. What else did they have? They had a ship and they had a whole operation of slaves and labor going on here. That's what I'm suggesting.
But you don't control that. You don't control, subjugate people from a room. You subjugate people by, in person.
Well, I mean, we don't know what they were doing, right? Like if they were running some sort of industry or there was control of maybe it's the prison control of the detention block or something like that.
Also, now that you're in the room too, and I'm talking about the room you're actually in, not the room that you're viewing.
Yeah.
The southern portion goes for 10 feet, just like you drew, Ted, and then it ends in a iris door right there with a panel.
All right. Miro's just Miro changed. The control panel is different. Interesting.
Right, so while Ted plays with that, we haven't checked out the table and the stools.
Yeah,
John,
if we give that a careful once over.
So the table is the glass table, which is where you've been looking at everything. That's where the holographic image appears. Okay. So
is there like gum underneath the edge, or
no? Everything's normal other than the crazy magical technology that you're viewing. So you just sit in the chairs and then you can sort of look at what you're seeing.
Sorry, while they were doing this, I think I probably would have wanted to just listen at the hallway door to the south.
Oh, okay, go for it.
I'm just a regular old vanilla human. So, I rolled a 1.
Okay. 1 second. You don't hear anything. I'm going to say that looking at the room so far, it's going to take 2 turns, so it's now just past 9 a.m. Don't mind me at all. No big deal.
Okay.
Well, it's fun to look at these rooms and all, but if they don't tell us where the engine room is,
there's no map, right? We need to find a map.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Looking at the north one, John, the one that's like bad. Does it look like it was damaged in battle? Does it look like somebody like what does it look like happened to it?
Let's see.
Or is it not clear? Just does it work?
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like it hasn't been used as much as the eastern one, and so it's just sort of fallen into poor repair.
Okay.
Interesting.
But if I look at the buttons, are there any labels there that are interesting or helpful? Is there any place to put a key card?
No, there's not. No.
So it's just non-functioning. If we press buttons, nothing happens.
Do you press buttons?
I'll press a button.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm all the way to the south.
There's a little bit of like a spark that sort of jumps, makes you kind of jump back a little bit from the button.
Yeah, they use these to make sparks.
You hear like a grinding sound from somewhere deep within the innards of that particular console, like a.
Oh, okay.
What if I look underneath? Is there
Nope, nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
This has the feeling of like
shall we go to the
continue
south?
to press buttons until it works, or continue to press buttons until it explodes.
Yeah,
Bets?
I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
I'm not a fan of either of those ideas. All right.
South.
I'm going to try and open that door to the south, John.
Okay, with what?
With my key card, which I have a key card that is, just says PDA access card. So I guess I don't have that card. I never got a color one. Yeah, I never got a colored card. That seems lame. Okay, somebody else.
Oh, we're rainbow card buddies. Hey, Mike.
Yay!
I'll go open it with a silver card.
Thank you.
Okay, boop beep. It opens up. So just to be clear, you're continuing to venture forward in this area that is not the engine room. Is that correct?
Well, we don't know what the engine room is, John.
We're looking for the engine room.
You had a plan to mitigate that, right?
No, and I'm not trying to throw the plan out the door. I'm just trying to make sure that the door right next to us does not lead directly to the engine room.
Okay,
yeah, because we don't know, right?
What was your plan to mitigate, Mike?
You guys were going to go back. Well, one, you were going to try to get to the bridge and use the control tablet, and two, you were going to attempt to try to investigate some of the other rudishva skeleton guarded transit rooms
in the shaft, which we are. And like, remember, right now the thing that's keeping us from getting to the bridge is our dead friend David.
Yeah, we can't go back to the bridge without our control card.
He has the key card to get to there.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought we were just gonna like quickly look around this area, because now we know what we're looking for with the engine room, right? And so we can open this door, we can peek down there. If it doesn't look promising,
okay,
yeah, we can go back.
So you open the door. It continues the black octagonal sheathing in the room. It looks like this. I believe this is. Yeah, it looks like a phased room. So it's like partially natural, partially Rudishvan. Let's see. Let me switch over to Miro so we can watch Ted do his thing. So it is roughly about 40 feet east to west, 20 feet north to south. You're entering in about 10 feet in from the eastern side along the north wall. The northern and southern walls are clean and, constructed. The eastern and western walls are rough. Okay. There is a natural passage about 5 feet wide that goes south out of the room, almost directly across from you. A little bit more to the west. A little bit more to the west.
5 feet wide, you said?
About 5 feet wide, yeah. There's a lot of the sheathing, the black octagonal sheathing, has actually fallen from the walls in this room. First time you've seen that. So there's piles of dusty black granite on the floor as a result. Near the western edge of the room, there's actually a sinkhole. And yeah, it seems to, so like a part of the floor, it just sort of seems to have given way into darkness. And let's see and then as you sort of, who entered the room? Lothar?
Yeah.
So Lothar, when you enter the room, you can see like right behind you, sort of painted on the wall, right next to the door that you just came through, the iris door. There is a painting and a crudely marked in modern Arcantian. There is a painting that is definitely of the Nataraja, like a stick figure version of the Nataraja, easily recognizable. And someone has written in modern Arcantian, "Beware the dancer within." Once again, in typical AV fashion, you guys have approached from the wrong way.
That's awesome. Have we ever gone the right way? I don't think we've ever gone. Like, I think we started the wrong way.
Ass backwards, always, every time.
All right. Okay, Matt, this might not lead to the engine room, and we don't want to be distracted. And you know.
And we don't think, okay, so here's the thing. We don't think that control leads anywhere. I mean, there is another door in there. It could lead somewhere, but it doesn't seem. What's that?
Well, first of all, we didn't see a teleport chamber in the control room that we were looking at. So we could take that one.
There were 3 iris doors in that room, the control room, just so you're aware. One on the eastern side, 2 on the western side.
It could lead to a complex of areas. And in fact, the control room perhaps controls the engine room. That would make sense.
Okay.
So maybe we should go that way.
Right. And do we want to just go through all the buttons in all the different rooms and try and just clock like any other monsters that might be in the area, you know? So that if we come across another one of those Natarashas, then we can, we know there's one in the engine room. So if we actually find the engine room, then we can be prepared. Maybe it's worth just going through all the rooms that we haven't seen yet to see where else there might be like guardians.
I will tell you that's going to be a little much just on the structure of the session. That will take literally the rest of the session just describing to you what is in every other room. Because there's like 20.
I was
20
worried about that. Yeah, I was a little worried about that too. Okay.
If there is a room, I'm perfectly happy, of course, if there's a specific room that you guys are interested in looking at, no problem. Like you've already been doing. But I can't do like a whole 20 thing list.
Okay. All right, yeah. Okay, I'm cool with that. What if we what do you guys think if we go back and try the control teleport?
I think it's a good idea.
All right. Also, I mean, do we want to, out of curiosity, throw a chicken down the hall of death just to see what happens to it and then book it?
I mean, if you're going to throw chickens, I'd throw it down that sinkhole. What's down the hole there? That's more interesting.
Really?
The Hall of Death is a Hall of Death. We knew that looking at it.
All right.
Once you've seen one Hall of Death, you've seen them all.
All right.
Is it really interesting?
I don't think there's going to be anything down the stupid hole.
Yeah, I mean,
do you want to look down the hole?
You know what? If the beware is on the other side there, as if someone's coming through that room towards the Nataraja, then you're right. The hole probably is not the big danger in that room. We've gone through the dangerous room already. Let's just go back to the control teleport and go see what that does.
Yeah, because we could go south and try to see where this connects to everything else, but that's not our mission. We could backtrack. We've learned from this room. We could backtrack and go into go into the control to see if there's more teleportation options there.
I bet there's a lot more rudishva stuff on this level because it's all sort of like phased in together. Yeah. You know, like we've hit 2 things separated by natural tunnels and caverns. That suggests there'll be more because it all phases at the same time. But so exploring this level, I think, would be rewarding, and we might even find the engine room. But
what about also? Can we take a quick look, John? You said that the black stone kind of facade of covering the rough walls had started to crumble. Mm-hmm. Can we I just want to do a quick inspection of like that stuff, just see if I can figure out why it crumbled or if there's like something to that, you know, like, was it because something impacted on it, or can we tell what it depicted? Were there more freezes on it if it was up on the wall or anything like that?
It looks likely. So there's basically shaped stone behind it, like the natural stone of Arden Vul. I mean shaped as in like they looks like the rudishva likely faced it a little bit so that they could have then attach the black granite sheathing. It looks most likely that it probably broke apart due to the phasing.
Okay.
Yeah, like the trauma of the phasing. And for whatever reason, like this section just wasn't able to withstand that catastrophe, you know.
Okay.
Well, if he's going to go in there and look at wall panels, I want to look down the hole.
So looking down the hole, you can see that it drops down not too far. Easily, you can just descend it if you want to, and it immediately sort of heads towards the west.
That's boring.
In a very narrow sort of natural cavern. There is a strong reek of urine coming from there.
That's gross.
Like goblin urine?
Not goblin. It's very, very pungent. Very, very acrid.
Oh. Some asparagus fans live that way.
Yeah. different from the smell we smelled in the cesspit room we were in with the tomb.
Yes, different. Yeah.
Yeah. And different, I think, wasn't there an acrid smell in one of the rooms near or off of the I can't think of his name now.
The acridity comes from definitely what is urine. Like you can definitely peg it as urine.
Yeah.
Do you know like the smell of like when your cat like just like right after it pisses in the litter box before the litter itself like covers up the smell? You know, it's like that, like really strong, like makes your nose hairs sort of tingle. You know,
I don't want to go there.
Didn't we smell something somewhere near the Adriatic room? Wasn't there a smell?
If there was, it's not the same smell.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this is exactly urine.
Okay,
right. I'm just trying to see if there's a connection between tunnels. Is all. So, what, Mike?
It's pee, man. It's pee.
I get that part. But if we've smelled strong pee somewhere else or something, and maybe they connect. But I'm just remembering wrong. It's fine.
All right. So we going south, going down the hole. We going back to the teleportation area. What are we doing?
Wulfheard is going to take a quick pee down the hole.
Okay, you add to that lovely odor.
Gross.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to make my mark.
I think we should do the control room or the control teleport pad.
Okay. Do that.
You're going to make your way back carefully. So I'm going to say you're moving at like what 90-ish, right?
Yeah, I'm at 90.
Yes.
Okay, so I would say it's going to take 2 turns to get back there carefully. Nothing seems to have changed in the very wide hall. The black granite octagonal sheathing has actually fared relatively well. Don't mind me, just a thing I'm doing. Totally unrelated to what's going on. But it's an ominous area, right? Because you got that wide staircase that goes down, and you just see like bodies of like strange things like lining there. And then of course there's that at the very end of it, past where you've actually drawn your map, there's that disc of pulsating energy that's sort of floating in midair somewhere off there in the darkness, right? So
guys, do you want to hook one with a grappling hook and rope and just see if we can tell what happened to them?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go over to the corner, because they're like stairs going down, right? But there's a door. So I'm not going on the stairs, but I'm standing like at the top, like right where my cursor is over here. I'm going to take my grappling hook and rope, and I'm going to try to hook the closest body. See if I can pull it back.
Okay, so I'll give you your choice because they don't really tell me like where exactly the bodies are. So, but you can tell easily that there are some appear to be ancient Arcantians just by the dress. Some appear to be like recent adventurers like Thorkin Arcantian. Some are Varamani. There are 3 Kalyani, you can easily tell, and 2 are extremely large horned and taloned creatures which look completely foreign to you.
I don't want those. Those sound gross. How about the Kalyani? I'll try to get one of those.
One of the Kalyani? Okay. Yeah, so you grab one of those guys. And yeah, so it's Kalyani. It's kind of dressed in its typical wear there. It doesn't seem to have anything valuable on it though.
Can I tell by looking at it, was he electrocuted? Was he shot with fire? Was he filled with projectiles? If we look at him closely, can we tell what happened to him?
Yeah. Let me look at the thing that killed him. It looks like massive wound trauma to like the skin, like it's like been ripped open basically.
Like something with claws.
Yes,
or like
correct. Yeah, with claws or teeth. Yeah.
Okay, that is not good news. Let's just do one more. He wants to try to find like the freshest of the new modern Arcantian bodies, or at least one that looks fresh. And he's going to try to hook one of those just so we can see if that's still the same.
So you hook one of them. You do see that so what you pull out, what you actually pulled towards you this time is actually what you thought was an Arcantian is actually an elf. It looks to be a male elf adventurer, and that elf. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Ooh, okay. Let me see this. I think you might be able to find this. So you pull out one of the ancient Arcantians. This guy, actually, though, when you drag him over, also appears to have been killed by massive trauma. But you pull out a short little case that has some bolts in it. Mort.
Arrows badly.
Mm-hmm.
I look at those. I don't have any use for them. I throw them back down the Hall of Death.
Mort murders Wulfheard.
When you pull one of the bolts out, at the moment it sort of leaves the sheath, the tip of the bolt actually ignites magically with flame.
Ooh.
And there are 6 of them.
Does the countdown begin?
Yeah, so they explode. Is 6 bolts like one slot?
Actually, you can just roll it into the encumbrance of the crossbow.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Sure.
I will take 6
If you can
bolts.
find a use for this, yeah, sure. I don't think we need to keep fishing, do we?
Yeah.
Well, it's not triggering anything like bolts of energy from the pulsating disc saying don't touch my corpses. So that's useful to know. I mean,
took a turn.
Are there any goblins? Any goblins wearing fancy armor?
No, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh man.
See, I got you.
I have a feeling that,
guys, are we moving on, or are we staying here and loot goblining?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go through the control.
Okay,
thing.
so you're not going down the stairs. You avoid that, and you go back through the door into the area. So you came from the Bastion one. You're going to hit the control one. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an Iris door there, right, John?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And away we go.
There we go.
And you phase out of existence and phase right back in. All right, Ted, let's get you set up. Ted, why don't you see my pointer right here?
I do.
Okay, why don't you start right around there? You're going to draw a little, let's see.
Draw me a circle.
Yeah, let's see, there's a couple of them here, so I got to make sure I get the right one. So that one is the one that you came from, which is, okay. So you're, there is a teleportation little room here. Okay, so it's got, you're in a southern circle. There's a 10-foot expanse just to the north of you, and then across that 10-foot expanse is another circle. Okay. So you're in one. Yep. Then 10 feet, and then another one. Yup. And then in between the two, there is a passageway, plasteel once again, that goes for 10 feet to the east. That ends in an Iris door. The other
and on the west, is it a continuous wall?
Just a wall, yeah. Assuming you're going to do the typical protocol with teleport nodes. Checking out the other one, you see that it says floating gardens.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yes, and so there is the...
so we were just in the... Not the Bastion. We were just in detention.
You're in the detention center, that's correct. Mm-hmm. Although you
So
didn't actually see any detention cells.
No.
Strange.
I think they were guarded by that weird floating disc.
I think that's certainly possible.
All right. So there's a door to the east. It has a panel.
All right.
Why is it labeled?
Lothar Sharp Ears give it a listen?
I mean, I'm happy to, but I still think like your goblin ears are probably better suited for it. But holy shit, I rolled a 1.
Lothar.
Hey.
One of these things, I really hope that there's
the goblin out of the way, loud ass.
Okay, so you put your ear to the Iris door and you listen really carefully. At first, you're like, God damn, I don't hear anything at all. It's typical, right? But at the very edge of your hearing, beyond the door, you can hear just a slight sort of slurping sound, just like
Slurping is always good. There's never a time that slurping is bad.
No slurping in a dungeon has ever been good. Maybe like on date night, that's different, but not here. Not
Well,
here.
you could probably make an association from what you saw in the hologram to what you're hearing right now.
That goo.
The slime. We saw slime on the floor.
Slurping.
So this might open directly into the control room.
All right.
But the doors that we saw were up on the gantry level, right? Not doors down in the pit.
That's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the slime was down in the pit.
You saw, the slime was down in the pit. Yeah. So you saw 2 iris doors on the western wall and 1 iris door in the middle of the eastern wall.
So I think we could probably safely go through.
Let's do it.
Okay. So is Mort using
silver
his
key
silver
card?
plaque?
Open it.
Boop beep. It opens up with a silver plaque. Inside, you see that you are actually in the presence of what you just recently saw just moments ago with a hologram you were in. So the exact dimensions, Ted, we have a 50-foot north to south by 30-foot east to west room. Again, no 90-degree angles. This is all rudishvan. Okay.
Okay.
The walkway is basically 10 feet all the way around, circumnavigating the pit, which is sort of like the middle 3 squares, like from north to south. You know what I mean?
Am I coming in right at the center?
I'm sorry. You're coming in 10 feet down from the northern side on the western wall.
10 feet down from the northern side on the western wall.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's 50.
50 feet north to south, 30 feet east to west. In the middle 3 squares, in the direct middle of the room from north to south, is the pit. Okay. You got it. And there are very steep stairs on both the north and south side of that pit to access it downwards. Okay. And there is a door in the middle of the eastern wall. These are all iris doors, and another iris door on the western wall, 10 feet down from where you guys are entering. There, you got it. Very good. Now, right. So everything here is sheathed in white marble, not plasteel, but it looks relatively intact. They're on the eastern and western walls, so like almost directly like to your right when you sort of enter the room, there are what appear to have once been huge view screens, like big black view screens, but they're shattered. It's like spider web, like shattering all around, like if someone like got really mad because the Cowboys lost or something like that and busted their TV, right? There's like cracks all like against both of those view screens. And as I said before, it looks like a battle took place here, or some like a massive amount of violence took place here. Scorch marks all on the walls, broken shit everywhere. There are skeletons that have been rotting, that are slumped over like chairs and the consoles down in the pit, the whole thing, bits of metal, all the sorts of shit. And then sort of covering the floor, basically around inches deep on the floor of the pit itself, is what it is like this blackish slime. And you can see the slime itself is sort of slowly moving and pulsating down there. It does not look good at all.
All of the consoles and furniture and everything is in the pit, right? The walkway is completely clear?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a light source in here? Or did we bring it
that?
There is no light source.
Okay, we all have our continual light amulet things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why don't we quickly duck in that iris door that's right to the south and just see what's there? I think the longer we spend in this room, the more dangerous it is with that goo.
Why don't you throw your chicken out on the walkway and see what happens?
I'm saving my chicken. We know it's on the ledge there.
It's going to make noise. It's going to start clucking, and the thing will jump up and eat you. I saw it.
Let's just. I know something's going to happen. I just want to duck down in that room.
Man.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Try to get in that room to the south.
Okay,
well,
so
I would suggest that the door opposite is most likely to lead. If this is the control room for the engine room, the door opposite is most likely to lead to the engine room, I would think.
Shall we
I don't
scamper over?
disagree, but I don't want to go into that room until we do some sort of test on the goo and make sure it's not going to eat us, because there's never been a fun fight with a slime or an ooze ever. So
Okay,
I'll tell you what.
I've got you, brother. I've got you.
Throw
I
a
will-
piggy
I
in
will take
there, a duck, whatever you got.
I will. Oh, we haven't done a duck. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a duck. I'm going to tie its foot, tie some twine to its foot, and I'm going to chuck it to the south along the walkway. So kind of like down here, so that if that goo responds to like movement and warmth and stuff, it'll hear and see things flapping around in the south and kind of ooze that way, and then we
Are you
can
guys
run around to the north.
Okay, so you guys are simultaneously going around the north, or are you waiting to see if something happens to the duck?
Waiting to see if something happens to the duck.
Okay, cool. So whack, 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 and it goes fluttering in the air and drops down on the gangway, and it sort of waddles around, peers down the well. As you guys are watching, apprehensively from the doorway, you see the slime. It sort of it makes this horrible sucking sound, and it sort of coalesces and starts to rise up out of the pit. Two pseudopods sort of branch out of it. As it does, it's sort of out of the middle of its shape, which is just a sludgy shape. It doesn't even look humanoid at all. It just looks like a rising slime. It almost like vomits forth a skeleton, just like just sort of sloughs out of the middle of it and clatters against like some of the chairs as it rises out. And the two pseudopods sort of reach towards the duck. The duck, being a duck, takes one look at that and flies away, basically back towards you guys, and just flies like right over your head back into the teleport node. And
good job,
man. The duck lived. That's all it's important.
So the sludge basically gets two pseudopods, goes slap with an obscene sound on the gangway, like the level that you guys are on. And like where the duck was, and sort of slowly scrapes it back. As it does so, you can hear like the hiss of caustic acid as it sort of scrapes the stone of the floor, of the white marble of the floor, and back down into the pit, right? And then it sort of like dissolves back into the pool and sort of like waves, just sort of oscillates a little bit down there on the bottom. I'll let you guys ruminate on that lovely picture while we take our second break. We will be right back. All right, back again. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so the sludge appears to have kind of leveled out again on the bottom of the pit, so you don't really see it right now. Should also say too that it's it's like noxious to the nose, right? Like it's pretty gross smelling as well.
Mm-hmm.
Matt brought up something when we were off camera there briefly about his armor with the phoenix on the breast, the ringmail phoenix, and indeed something did happen in that last battle. So the more you got hit, Wulfheard, every time you got hit and you started to like lose health, get closer to death, the phoenix itself started to, it sort of gave that impression of like a flame that sort of crossed over it, right? That flame got brighter and brighter as you lost more and more hit points.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then when you were healed by Brother Lothar, it dimmed.
Good shrink back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You can see how close I am to death. Actually, it'd probably be pretty bright most of the time, considering how old he is.
Okay.
If your original guess of it was like it'd reincarnate you or bring you back up from zero.
That's what maybe I'm thinking. Like if you hit zero, it bounces you back up. Maybe.
Do you want to test it?
I think we should.
No, I don't really want to.
Okay, so you appear to be in a room full of ruins. Got the slime sludge thing down the bottom. You have a duck, and you have three doors, one of which you came through.
Why didn't you list that among our assets before?
The duck is named Benjamin, by the way. I've decided.
That's good.
All right, so
Benjamin. Okay.
Barnes wants to try the oil. Let's just see what happens. I'll take a flask of oil out and a torch, and I'll hook them both down into the pit.
Yep.
I'll light the torch. This is key. And throw the oil and throw the torch.
Okay.
Just try and catch that oil on fire.
Okay. All right. So why don't you roll to attack, please? Dexterity bonus.
Okay. That wasn't a very good roll.
Set yourself on fire.
No, but I don't know. I probably just spilled the oil all over the floor or something with a 3.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you it goes down there and it sort of bursts into flame, but you don't see anything happen, right? You just see like a bright moment of flame, and then it sort of dies away.
It doesn't seem to react otherwise.
It does well. Not that you can see. Again, you're not right at the edge, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. That
So
sucked.
okay. I have another pitch. Elizabeth has been carrying around a potion of cold, this potion of icy cold stuff from page 172. For a long time, she's had this.
Okay.
And I think it's time. She's going to uncork that and throw the potion into the goo.
Okay. Roll to a hit.
Now there you go and ruin my plan.
Yeah, exactly. Mine was pretty good too, up to that point.
All right. So what is her to hit?
Just roll d20. I always say just roll d20 anyways, because if you roll something low, you know you're going to miss. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a 9 on the die.
So that means you need to check.
Yeah.
And she's got a -1 to Dex.
Oh God!
Okay.
So that's an 8.
Okay, so it bursts down there. You could hear it tinkle brightly as the glass sort of shatters, and you can see that some of the broken consoles that are sort of visible, from where you're standing, you can actually sort of see them sort of like ice over, right, a little bit.
That's a shame.
And as you do so, though, you see a very much not iced over pseudopod of black slime slowly rise out again from the base of that pit and form both of its pseudopods, and the pods grow longer and longer and longer until you're sort of looking at it going like, oh shit, those could definitely reach me right now. So you have a split second to decide what to do before I ask for initiative.
Shut the door!
Shut the door. Shut
Okay.
the door.
Okay. You hear a wet sputch from right on the other side of the door, like it's.
That's the worst kind of sputch.
Yeah.
I hate slimes and oozes. I can't even tell you how much I hate them.
Yeah. I got one other idea.
What is it?
Turn goes by.
Well, I don't know what that thing does, but I found a rudishvan palm, session 102, which maybe will dominate the slime, or it was the hand on a stick and it shoots a ray out.
Oh.
Don't know what it does.
And we don't know what that ray does.
Right.
I kind of want to do a better job with your fire idea first,
You got
Well,
more oil?
who here has some decent decks? Wulfheard and
I
Elizabeth
rolled so
don't.
crappy. Dex wouldn't have helped. No Dex would have fixed that roll.
What do you got? What you packing over there, Lothar?
Can we get a small cask of oil out of the sack? That's like the equivalent of like several things of oil.
I can get a flask. I don't think I can get a whole cask. It's small.
Like a pony keg kind of thing. A pony keg of oil. Come on. Let's do it.
You could, yeah. I'd get you one that gives you it would be a two slot thing. It would give you 3 flasks worth of oil.
All right. Why don't we get that? Why don't we open its bung? Excuse my English. And then just roll it on into the slime and then just light the trail of oil from the door into the pool.
Suits me, man.
Is gunpowder cheap? Gunpowder?
Fire? Can we get rudishvan fire or something?
No.
Yeah.
You can't get gunpowder.
Let's try this, guys. Let's try to mitigate those horrible dex modifiers checks that we have to try and do.
Well, see, I worry about the flame actually following it down a drop like that. What if we make it into a Molotov cocktail?
Then you have to throw it again and you have to attack with it again. And that's kind of the thing that's kind of like screwing us, right?
Oh, true. But if we don't try to hit the thing, but if we just try to get the scent, like that northern area of the pit to catch on fire, it may shy away. We could run around and get out.
Well, let's put it to John. Like, is my idea of rolling the cask with a trail of fire following it, is that doable, or is that like, do we all look at the real world physics of that and be like, that'll work, or do we need to go deliver it?
I think it's fine. You want something to be on fire and roll it in? Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
It's enough oil that it, might splatter more or spread out more.
Yeah.
The Molotov thing is definitely an attack roll. You're going to have to roll for that. And maybe you get it. But if we just pour a ton of oil down there and light it on fire, maybe we get somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So you just heard a very
we got to be
wet
ready
spot.
to go.
You heard a very wet sputch just seconds ago.
Yeah, we're gonna give it some time, John. We're gonna prep. We're gonna be real quiet. Maybe we move down the hallway so it's not like detecting our electromagnetic signatures and like trying to eat us.
We could go visit the floating gardens for a couple rounds or turns and then come back. But I'd say we just wait.
Yeah.
What time is it now, John? It's like 9:30 or 10 or something.
It is 10 a.m.
So too soon for 8th level goblin to naps. Yeah.
Up to you.
Okay.
All right. So you're waiting. How many turns are you waiting?
Let's give it a turn.
Give it a turn.
1 turn, 10 minutes. Okay. All right. You light that puppy on fire and you open the door and you just roll it blindly in, right?
Yep.
Well, no, it was roll and then light the oil. That way we're not holding a burning cask of oil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, you open the door. So as you open the door, you see that some of the slime has basically breached the top of the gangway and is sort of spreading out in your direction. Like it's sort of like pool. It's not like risen. Like it's not like mobile. It's sort of like spread out onto the gangway in front of you, right? You immediately just light that cask on fire and basically roll it right into that slime. You're not going to need to roll to hit. So who was rolling it?
I'll roll it. I don't care.
Okay, so use your. I know it's not exactly realistic, but use your weapon damage.
Oh, okay. Well, we should have had Wulfheard do it. My weapon damage is just D10.
D10.
Yeah, I'm a 7th level cleric.
Are you third weapon tier? No, you should be a D8, I think.
Okay, sure. I have a D10 written down, but whatever, that's fine.
Well, it's important. What level 2. Are you? 7.
I'm 7th level. I'm 7th level. I'm definitely not 3rd tier.
Yeah, so your weapon damage is a D8 because you're normally a D6.
Okay. I'm wondering if there was something about the mace that made it higher, but that's cool. Anyway, I rolled a 2.
Okay. So, you roll it in. It does appear to harm the sludge. So like a little bit of it sort of retracts a little bit. But instead of making it sort of back away, it rises up like that. And you see that, that 2 parts of it, 2 chunks of it sort of plop out from the main body of it and sort of cover 2 of the skeletons that are sort of draped over 2 of the chairs, or maybe like a chair and a console down there. And those skeletons start to quiver underneath the sludge, as if the sludge is sort of like slowly devouring them or choking them or strangling them or something like that. They sort of quiver and jerk a little bit.
Or animating them so it can walk.
Yeah. Right.
Roll for we're going to roll for initiative, but declarations.
Declaring, let's see, we have to declare
spells
movement
right
and spells, right?
Yeah, just spells.
I don't think I have any spells that would work on this.
I don't.
Okay. Roll for initiative, please.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Lisbeth will do. She will cast a spell.
Okay, I got a 5.
Whose turn?
I think it's. I guess I'm still up, huh?
Yeah,
you're still beating him.
All
Roll
right.
6.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, right.
There it is.
Thank you, Ted.
Cool.
Very con dice for the win.
Okay. What do you do?
So
the like a hittable part of the slime is basically about 10 feet away from you guys right now.
And did the cask like erupt into a fire, John? Is there a giant pool of like 3 oil flasks with a fire in there?
It yeah, but it's not like too big. You know, it seemed to affect it, but didn't seem to hurt it that much.
Do we need to
does
hit
it
the
look-
cask again to make it like explode? Do we need to like break the cask?
Or you
It's
just roll
down the
that?
hole, right?
Well, the damage you rolled is like the exploding thing, so it did it, but it wasn't that great.
Okay.
But is any part of the black slime, whatever it is, still in an area of open flame of burning oil? Because it lasts for like several rounds, right?
Sure, yeah. What is it? What is a?
I think OSE, it's 3 rounds when you throw a flask of oil.
I'll look it up real quick. Splash. Damage inflicted over 2 rounds as the liquid drips off. So one more round.
Okay.
One
Okay.
more round.
John, does it look with the way this slime and stuff is around there? Does it look like if we ran, could we bolt around it to the north and get around to that other side of it?
There's
on the
nothing
eastern
that's
wall.
blocking your way in the north right now, but you don't know how fast this thing moves.
So
Or how
far,
much
it hasn't
can
moved terribly fast that we've seen, right?
All right,
Not really.
guys, do you want to fight it here, or do you want to book it?
I don't want to fight it at all, man.
I want to see if we can even do anything to it. If we do have to fight it, like we could still close the door if we had to.
I feel like these things are always like you have to do like some sort of magical elemental damage to them. Like regular weapons are just going to be like smacking a puddle, you know. They're the worst.
Well, it's our round, so Mort's gonna
Do something more. Go in there,
yep,
charge.
I'm gonna whip out the crossbow and one of those brand new bolts and take a shot at that dude.
Okay, cool. Roll to attack.
See what happens. So Mort, what's your dexterity, Mort? You've never fired a missile weapon, Mort. You got a +1. Wow, Mort. What a guy.
This is the magical crossbow, right? That we don't know what it does.
It is a magical crossbow, and I roll. Oh boy, yeah. Well, that was a waste of a bolt.
Use your luck token.
Hold on. My thank you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 plus whatever bonus the crossbow provides.
You miss. So one of those bolts of fire is gone.
Okay.
It goes off wild. Don't forget that crossbow allows you to attack at the first, no matter what you roll. You always
That's
attack
right.
first.
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
attack
nice.
very
Round.
moves really, really quickly.
So yeah, I rolled. I guess I had a note here I'd forgotten about. I have a +8 with the crossbow, so a 10, which misses. You said
Still misses. Yes.
okay.
Anybody else?
Okay. Well, Elizabeth is going to go ahead and drop her spell. She's going to use the custom spell that she wrote, Decompose, and she's going to try to decompose one of the skeletons.
Okay. Give me the
Assuming
description.
they're within. So over 3 rounds, this will do 2d4 worth of damage per round as fungal spores and bacteria eat away at necrotized material over time, like the bones
So
of the skeleton.
2d4 each for 3 rounds.
For 3 rounds.
Okay.
It looks like we're within 30 feet, so it should be okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you cast it down into the pit, and it attack is just one creature, or is it like an area?
It's just one.
Do they have to make a save?
There is no save because it's designed for dying dead things.
Right.
And now I just need my d4s. Yeah. Okay. There's a 4. So 5 points of damage this round will happen to that northern skeleton.
Okay. Yeah. So it goes, like all these like growths sort of appear all over the skeletal body. And you see that it's definitely like that quivering happens, and it's sort of emerging from the sludge. And that's at the point where the mushrooms start to appear, and you can see it sort of almost like rock back as it's sort of by the force of like these things sort of taking over its body. It's still up though. Anybody else?
Cool. You said it's about 10 feet away, right?
The sludge, the hittable part of the sludge is about 10 feet away up on the gangway. The rest of it's still down in the pit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a stab at the part that's close enough to hit.
And Barrios will move up to support you with that.
All right, that is a 16 on a die. That definitely hits. That's
hits.
8, 12. That's 20 points of damage.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Barry. Oh, sweet. Barrios rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
And that's only 6 points of damage.
6
With
points.
what though? Because I think that probably is going to matter.
It's a spear, magic spear.
Okay. Both of the weapons appear to connect, and definitely causes it the sludge to sort of like to kind of retreat a little bit. You know what I mean? In obvious pain. You at this point too, you actually see like the bulk of the sludge. It's awful to see. Some of the sludge actually starts to separate in various orifices all around it, and those orifices suddenly fill with sharp fangs. Like just like a mouthful of like jagged, awful fangs dotted all around. Like, you know those pictures of like Jublex from like the Monster Manual where it was like all eyes? It's like that. It's just like squicky all over, just kind of dotted with it as they sort of open up and like lolling tongues sort of come out from all directions. It's really awful.
Really upsetting. It's
Are
very
we playing
upsetting.
Call of Cthulhu now? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible thing that you've never seen before, even on other slimes and molds. I'm into slimes, mold, and fungus. Fungi. I said that quote wrong, but it's there. Okay. Anybody else? Anyone?
John, I'm gonna smack it with my. I'll smack it with my mace.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Everyone just moving in the melee. Okay.
Yep. This is against my better judgment. I'm going to be very upset in a minute.
Look how happy he is. John is
I
Christmas
am
King
going to
early.
hit AC 16.
That's a hit.
I will do bludgeoning damage. I will do 8 points of damage.
Okay. This is not undead, so you're not factoring that in.
I'm not adding that extra plus in there. No.
Okay. 8 points. All right.
And just so I'm clear, what are we actually? There's one or two blobs of slime up on the gangway.
It's one huge blob. The bulk of it is still down in the pit, but it's sort of like coating the side of it and has come up on the top. And then the fire thing caused it to sort of like react and sort of now is like risen up off the ground of the gangway.
Okay.
It's sort of like on your level right now, like right in your face. And you guys are all basically in melee with it right now. Two parts of it sort of detached and kind of covered these skeletons, and those skeletons are now animating. One of them has fungi on it from the decompose. Okay. Both of those skeletons are down in the pit.
That's what I was trying to get at. They're still down in the pit. So all the melee stuff we did was to the main glob.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it.
So there's no other attacks, right? That's it.
I think that's all.
Yep. Mort shot, Barrio stab. Both are. Did Elizabeth? Oh, she cast a spell.
Yeah, she cast her spell.
So we have Wolf,
that's everybody.
Lothar, and Barrios are all in melee, right?
Wolf, Lothar, and Barrios. Yeah.
Okay. So, Barrios.
All right. Well, he's got I think a 16 AC, but that's before calculating whatever that. He has a magic shield, and I don't know what it does.
Where was the shield found?
Ugh.
No.
Give me a second here. What? It's written down on my character sheet, but I don't know what it does.
I'll just roll. Just hold on. He has so without the shield, he has a what?
16.
16. So we'll assume he at least has a 17. Likely an 18. Got it. Oop, okay.
It's the one that's got crossed magic arrows on it, or crossed arrows on it. And I think it's magic.
Okay, that's going to be okay. Okay, so you're going to take 7 points of damage, Barrios. Okay, as two of the pseudopods sort of lash out. They come from either direction, and they slap into him. Okay. And he's also going to take and Barrios is usually like, he's kind of got that Clint Eastwood sort of voice, like kind of soft spoken, but he squeals in a very unmanly way as his skin,
like a goat or sheep.
But say that, yeah. As you see his the fur of his face sort of burn away as the pseudopods eat away at his flesh. So he's take 7 points of damage from like bludgeoning, and then he's going to take another 5 points of damage from acid as it burns away. And what happens is the pseudopods actually join up after they hit him. They don't retract. So they come in from either side and they sort of link up and they crush his head inside the sludge. So all of his head is completely encompassed by the sludge. And you just hear like his what's the word for sheep? That when they bleeding. Thank you. You hear the bleeding sort of fade away, right, as he's encompassed in this sludge. But his body is just like, his hands are up on the sludge, like burning as he's trying to pull the pseudopods away. Pseudopods are like lined with teeth everywhere, by the way, and with open mouths with nasty sharp teeth. And in addition, he's going to take crushing damage for another 7 points of damage.
Holy for holies!
Okay, and it's staying there, just kind of crushing in his skull.
I'm going to activate my self-destruct.
How many hit points is he at, Ted?
The skeletons, one has
down to 4 hit points. 4 hit points.
The skeletons, one which has the toadstools on it. They both move on opposite ends to go up the stairs and attack you. So they basically ascend the stairs, and they're now at the top of the gangway on either the northern and the southern ends, and it's now top of the round. Melee movement and spells.
Arios retreats.
That doesn't sound like that's going to
Barrios cannot retreat. He can attempt to break out of it, but that's like a normal thing, not a declaration.
Yeah, okay.
No spell from Elizabeth.
I'm loath to try to heal him. I'm Lothar to try and heal him if he's going to be screwed anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I kind of think we got to save those for an NPC, for a PC.
Those grenades are huge. It'll blow us up.
So I'm just asking for movement and spell declarations.
I know. I'm sorry, John. I'm trying to figure it out. Can Ostric Sanctuary be cast on a different person? Or is it only on yourself? I have the Ostric SRD here. Hold on one second. Because if I can cast Sanctuary on him, it's personal only. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to attack. Sorry.
Okay. So no one's moving out of melee, right?
Right.
Okay. Roll for initiative. I got a 3.
Go, Ted. Go.
I got a 4.
Okay.
You're the beast.
Ted's the man.
All right. Ted's
okay.
Keeping it together.
Barrios is going to try and break free.
Okay. So Barrios, I need you to roll 3d8 under your strength.
Ooh,
hit your strength or under.
Barrios' strength is a 13, so that is not great odds. 2, 6, so that's an 8.
Yeah.
Plus 2, 10. That's under my strength.
Okay. All right. So he manages to his hands sizzling and all that kind of stuff. He bodily rips the pseudopod out, and you see his face is scored. There's parts of sheep skull showing through, and it's bad news. He looks fucked up. Right.
He is,
but he stumbles out. He's still in melee though. He's still engaged.
All right.
All right.
That's all you can do. He cannot attack.
Yeah.
All right. That is a 5 + 9, 14 to hit.
That is a miss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's
not great.
Because he's super curious about what it does. Mort's going to take another crossbow shot.
Okay.
And that is a...
if you miss, there's a chance you hit your friends, just letting you know.
No, it's like a 23.
Oh, okay. You definitely...
So the crossbow shot is...
what page were the bolts on again? Sorry.
Bolts were on page 533. Little fire off the tip, comes flying off, hits this thing for 7 points before any modifiers that it might have that you know about, but I don't.
Yeah, when the bolt ignites when you put it into the can't remember the slot. Press the trigger, and it the whole bolt turns into a bolt of flame as it rockets into it. And how much damage did you do?
Oh.
So I rolled 6 on the dice, and I have a +2 from the crossbow, apparently.
Okay. So in addition, the bolts give you an additional +2 to damage.
Okay.
So what are we at now?
We're at 10.
Okay, and then in addition, that's just magical damage, and then in addition, it does additional fire damage of 1d4 plus 4.
Ooh.
That's great. I'm going to roll a d4, and I rolled a 4, so we have 18 points of damage from the bolt.
That
Nice.
is awesome. All right, so it rockets in like a jet of fire into the sludge. Definitely hurts it. Like all the teeth sort of like wail and gnash.
Does it make that sort of sound of when you stick a match into Jello?
That sounds cool. Yeah, it totally does that. And in addition, that bolt actually sticks out of the sludge. And despite the attempt of the sludge to sort of like encompass it and smother it, the fire continues to burn it for another round.
Yes, yes, I like it.
So hold on 1 second. That's going to be. Oh, by the way, you've done a crap load of damage. If you consider like what Wulfheard did and everybody else did, it's still like easily fighting.
Sad news.
Okay, that is not.
But everything's hurt it so far. But yeah. So yeah. So basically, Ted, these are bolts of fire. They're plus 2 magical bolts. So so you're going to get the +2 to hit and damage with the crossbow, but an additional +2 for each one of those bolts that you fire to damage, not to hit. Okay, understand?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
yeah,
and then in addition, you're going to deal 1d4 plus 4 fire damage on top of that. Okay.
So +2 to hit.
Okay, just the bolts. The bolts are +2 to damage, magical, and then they do an additional 1d4 plus 4 damage of fire. Okay.
Oh, they're not +2 to hit, just +2 to damage.
Just +2 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, I misheard you.
And then the damage, the fire damage continues to the second round, but the second round it only does 1 to 3 hit points of damage. So you do a D3 hit points of fire damage in the second round. Okay.
That's pretty awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Lisbeth is going to do stuff. So her fungus, mold, and spores are going to do 5 more points of damage to the northern skeleton.
Okay, that skeleton, which has just crawled out of that ladder, we'll say it's the northern one, right? Collapses in just like a pile of like overgrown fungi. Like it just looks like a fungal patch is on the ground there.
Okay, that's good. And she is going to take a potion of molasses from her belt pouch that she's been carrying around from page 183.
Okay.
And she's going to chuck it into the goo. Try to slow it down.
Yes, very good.
Slow it down.
Or
Okay.
it makes it taste delicious.
All right, roll to attack it. You do have to still hit it.
Okay. Oh, that's a 19 on the die. I think that's going to hit.
Oh, that hits it. Okay, cool. It needs to make a save versus spells. It's pretty good for that. It makes it. Let me see if there's still an effect on a save. Okay, so it still works on a save, but just not as long. So it does pretty much what you thought it would do. So the sludge itself, which is moving actually relatively quick, like actually just slows down just a little bit, halves its movement, but it's just not going to last as long as a failed save would have lasted. Okie doke, very nice. Anyone else?
Goblin shot, Barrios freedom.
Lothar?
Lothar? You still want to do something?
Yeah, I'm going to hit it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to hit AC 17.
That's it.
10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Very nice. Okay. So yeah, it definitely affects it. It's still up and attacking all of you guys. That's it for this side. Okay, so who do we have in melee? We got Lothar, Wulfheard, and Barrios.
Barrios retreated.
No, he couldn't. He broke free and didn't have any action or movement left.
So same targets available to the ichor.
Don't get hit.
This time it's going to be Lothar.
Don't do it, Lothar.
Lothar, what's your AC?
Oh, your pretty face.
Well, with my new armor and my shield, I am AC 22.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's some good
Can we
shit.
just leave him here with it and we just leave?
Good shit.
Great idea.
Okay, so here we go. Pseudopods to the face. Okay, one hit. So one slaps you. The other one you're able to duck around, so it's not able to do that enclosing thing. Luckily, as you saw what happened to Barrios.
Probably good.
So you're going to take 2 points of bludgeoning, and you're going to take only 1 point of acid. So actually not that bad. So 3 points total.
Barrios looks at you with the stink eye because that's not cool, man.
Yeah. You were the benefit of not getting hit twice, and I rolled low on damage for each of those things. Okay.
Well, Barrios, all I can say is get good, baby. Get good.
Aw, poor Barrios.
Oh,
Okay. And then the skeleton that is up on top of the gangway is going to move around to the west and come at you guys. We'll say, I'll give Lothar the benefit of the doubt. We'll say it's only, actually, it could be any of you guys. Right?
Oh, because Mort is actually still in the like in the Iris door.
In the Iris door? Okay, so I'm going to say that Mort, you're an additional target, but the other guys aren't. Like, it would be Mort, Wulfheard, and Barrios as potential targets, okay? All right. It's going to be Wulfheard.
okay.
Skeleton. What's your AC?
15 as far as I know with the ring mail.
It actually hit.
I don't know if it has any.
Just barely. I gotta look that shit up. I was just tossed it for the hell of it. I was like, he's not gonna hit. But now you're making me look up the skeleton thing.
I'm sorry, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No,
I think it's a D1.
It's cool. Oh, it maxed out too. It's gonna do 6 points of damage to you, Wulfheard. You're too concentrated on this, rightfully so, on the slime. Skeleton managed to sneak one into you. Your Phoenix glows a little bit brighter. Okay. That's the end of that round. Okay. That's the bottom of the round. Top of the round, melee movement, spell declarations.
Right. No spell, but Barrios is. You know what? Barrios doesn't retreat. He's a honorable beast man of great renown. He's not retreating.
All right, good for you, Barrios. All right, roll for initiative. I got a 4.
Oh, I got a 6 again.
Damn, Ted is killing it with the initiative.
Killing it.
All right.
Let's do Barrios first because, he's going to go down in a blaze of glory. The spear of Scleros. Oh, Barrios, why you do? You roll a 6. That only an 11.
Not going to do it.
No good. No good that is.
Go ahead. Let's roll them. We're getting late.
All right.
Mort is going to take another shot with one more bolt. Rolls off the side of the table. There we go. What'd you say the AC was?
15.
15? 8. Sad, I missed. But I do still do a D3 of damage. And I rolled a 6. So 3 more points from the firebolt.
Okay, cool. So that bolt then extinguishes.
Yep.
Don't forget that I think you're down to like 2 bolts left, right?
I have 3 bolts left.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I really botched that up.
Okay. Oh, that is going to miss. It's a 12.
No good.
Distracted by a skeleton in his face.
I am going to hit AC 19, and I'm going to do max damage again.
Wow.
So 10 points.
Nice.
10.
All right. So, you're starting to see now that like the sludge is sort of like dripping off of it into like inert little puddles. And like the mouths start to disappear on those like a little inert puddles. Like parts of it are sort of falling off of it.
Elizabeth do anything?
I'm looking to see what she can take. She can take a shot with Shrieker, but she might hit us.
Isn't Shrieker still down in the transit shaft?
No, it's just she uses it to cast a spell.
Oh, she casts it.
Keeps
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Got it. Yep.
You know what? She'll take a shot. Why not? We're tough. We can take it.
I don't know if Barrios can take it.
Oh, she misses. That's a 7.
Okay. So bottom of the round, we'll do the skeleton stays on Wulfheard. Rolled a 1 that time, so you're definitely aware of it that time.
That's
and
okay
then
by me.
The creature has the same 3 targets, right? So that's going to be Barrios again.
Oh no.
AC again for Barrios. I'm sorry, it was like an 18-ish, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something you didn't tell me what the shield adds, but yeah.
Okay, it hit only once, which is good. I mean, for a hit. I rolled minimum damage, so he's only going to take 2 total: 1 bludgeoning, 1 acid.
Okay, he's got like, what did I say? 2 or 3 hit points left. Let me see. 14, 15, 16.
He said 4.
He has 4 hit points left.
Yikes.
I did the math wrong before, I think.
Top of the round, any declarations?
I know this thing's getting close, but she is going to cast a spell.
Okay. Elizabeth casting a spell, no movement. Let's roll for initiative. I got a 6 that time.
I got a 4.
All right. 3 had to come to an end at some point. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Skeleton on Wulfheard is a miss, and attack by the slime is going to be on, what I say? I said Lothar, Wulfheard, and Barrios, right? Wulfheard. Yeah. Wulfheard, your AC is what?
15, as far as I know, with the ring mail. I don't know if it has bonuses beyond that.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. It hit you twice.
Ooh.
All right.
I hate that.
Mike's making a face.
You're going to take 9 points of bludgeoning, and you're going to take 7 points of acid. So that's 16 points, and then you're going to be crushed as it encapsulates your head and starts to crush your skull.
16. Ooh.
Oh.
He's down to 4 before that.
10 hit points of crushing damage.
That takes him down.
Let's find out what the armor does.
Yep. Time to find out what that armor does. Sorry.
And that's the end of the episode, folks. Wait till next week.
Okay. So he drops like a stone. The phoenix on his ringmail is like actively in flame right now. It's like like he's on the ground and it's like basically like a little campfire like on his chest, just like that. But he is definitely out.
So I'm a corpse, but I'm pretty.
Yeah. So you're down to what? Negative what?
At -6.
-6. You're going to be dead at -10. You are losing a hit point per round.
I don't want to do that.
Is this like...
Right. That was its turn. It's your guys' turn, bottom of the round.
Okay.
Now, if we didn't declare a spell, then we can't cast a spell, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Wait. Elizabeth's spell didn't. She declared, but it didn't go off.
That's
okay.
Right.
Now it's our turn.
She's going to cast Umbral Ashes to.
Now, Wulfheard, if she does she have a cure spell?
No,
Okay.
She does not. She used them already.
Because you could just switch to that because you didn't declare what you know what I mean. You don't but yeah, never mind. Just so you know.
Yeah, no. She already used. She used her 2 healing spells.
Got it. Okay, go ahead.
So she's going to cast Umbral Ashes.
Okay.
To make us harder to hit. Umbral Ashes, that is her custom spell. Lasts a turn, range 60. Selected objects or creatures in range are outlined in obscuring ash, so they're harder to see. She can do 2 human-sized targets. So attacks on targets in low light conditions gain a -2 to hit.
Okay.
And
I'll give it to you, but which 2 people?
She'll do it on Lothar and Wulfheard looks dead, so she'll do it on Lothar and Barrios because Barrios is looking really rough.
Okay, Lothar and Barrios, got it. So -2 to hit each of them. Okay, cool. Anyone else? This bottom of the round.
No spells, but I've got some attacks to make.
Yep.
Barrios seeks vengeance, and that is a hit for 8 points of damage with a magic spear.
Okay, nice job, Barrios. It's not looking good. The sludge is definitely like on its last legs if it had legs.
Mort's gonna. I hate to use up all the arrows, but that's what they're for. So he's going to take another shot.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be an 18 hit.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's, let's see. Now going back to what you just told me, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 points damage plus, wrong die, plus 1, 2, 3, what did I say? 10 points of damage plus, so total of 13.
Wait, but the fire damage does D4 plus 4, Ted.
15.
15 total with fire?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that goes rocking as well, burning like right there in front of you, like in the black sludge, like right in front of you. Those pieces are just dropping off all the place off the sludge right now, like slipping back into the well, that whole thing, right? All right, top. Oh, did I have this? I did have this skeleton.
Nope.
Okay,
I haven't gone yet either.
Oh, sorry, Lothar. Go ahead.
Okay. I miss.
Okay.
That's everybody. Okay.
Okay, so that's everybody. Top of the round declarations.
I am going to cast a spell.
Cast a spell. Okay. Any movement? No. Okay. Roll for
I need
initiative.
to,
I might
I'm sorry,
I might
John.
shudder a little bit.
Sorry, Mike.
Do I need to move to get next to Wulfheard to cast my spell?
No, because you're just right behind him.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right aside. You're right beside him because you guys are all.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I could still do that.
Yep.
Okay.
You're good. I have a 4.
Matt's turn to roll.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
Okay, so it's going to go first. Skeleton against not Wulfheard anymore. Let's see. It's going to go against one of the other two. Going to go against Lothar. Lothar skeleton attack. Oh, Lothar AC.
22 plus he casts the Umbral Ashes on me, so he gets a -2 to hit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So fuck that skeleton.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The so the pseudopod. So this is the thing. The slime has encapsulated. Is it Wulfheard, right?
Wulfheard, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it continues to crush his head, and now you're starting to hear the sounds of digestion and devouring. Okay.
Oh, that's my least favorite thing.
So you're down to you're at the start of the round. You go down to -7 just from attrition, and then in addition, you're going to go down another 2 points to -9.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh.
Okay, but it doesn't get to attack anybody else. All right. It's luckily now it's your turn. Luckily, Lothar queued up a spell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
I
you,
thought I was
Lothar.
going to have to change my action there. I didn't think he was going to make it.
I rolled a 2 on my D10 for damage. You're very lucky.
I have a Cure Serious Wounds, the OSE version, which is 2d6 plus 2.
You don't
so
have
you're
to,
not out of the woods yet, homie.
You don't have to roll. Any magical healing while in negatives brings him up immediately up to 1 hit point.
Okay, perfect.
So you're
So I
at
do
1.
that.
So you wake up and it's just a scene of horror, Wulfheard, horror and pain, because you can't see anything. Your face is wrapped in black sludge, and you can feel the sludge sort of starting to like press like wrongly down into your mouth, right?
No. Oh.
Yeah.
I need to use my trigger word, John. That's
Yeah.
Wrong. Yeah,
Okay.
pressing wrongly is the.
So that's the so it's your guys' turn. So Wulfheard, you can roll 3d8 underneath your strength or under to escape this awfulness.
Okay. Well, that's good because my strength with this belt is pretty high. I would like to escape. I would like to escape the awfulness.
You have the equivalent of a 19 strength.
All right. I make it. That's 14.
Okay, so like you just like rip it off, right? Just hands sizzling, just like Barrios. You and Barrios have an unspoken bond now. If you can actually get out of this, it's really fucking bad. Okay, that's all you can do this round.
So you got sheep skull showing too, or just is that?
It's got a nice little human skull going on, a little Thorkin skull.
No.
All right. Anybody else?
It's like the guy seen in Poltergeist.
All right, so that's Lothar and Wulfheard. So Mort's going to take one more. Well, first of all, let's do the D3. That's 2 points damage, continuing flame from his last bolt.
Okay.
He's going to throw one more in there, and that is a miss. God.
Is that the last bolt?
No, I got one more.
One more. Okay.
And Barrios takes a stab with the Spear of Scleros, and he's going to do only 6 points of damage, I think. Let me look. 1, 2, 3, 5 points of damage. 5 points of damage.
Okay. So first of all, I want to tell you, don't forget, Mort, that you always get to attack first with that crossbow. Always, always, always. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Important.
I don't think it's mattered much at this point.
It would have saved him from going from -6 to -9.
Only if I'd actually killed it.
Right. True.
But Barrios gets the kill steal. Gets revenge for what has happened to it. As Barrios puts his spear in for the final blow, the thing sort of collapses in around the spear, lashes out wildly. Barrios sort of keeps it at bay, right, with his spear, and then it just sort of dissipates, hissing into the seams of the floor, right? So it's still like there, but it's just sort of very, very thin and spread out, and you can easily move around, and it goes away. Barrios and Wulfheard. I'm going to roll you guys separately.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled the same thing. Barrios loses 3 points of charisma, and so does Wulfheard. Permanent.
Oh boy.
John, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I have on my scroll, which we've never really figured out what it does. It's the Knit Bone spell. It's a 4th level spell. It repairs serious injuries, separating wounds, lameness, blindness, and illness.
Mm-hmm.
Could I use that to restore Wulfheard's good looks?
No, unfortunately not.
Barrios is like standing right there, man. And you,
well, sorry, Bill.
Yeah.
I've got a date. Does it look bad?
Yeah.
No, you look great.
So
You look great.
it's really bad. Like, so, yeah, like no bones are broken, but you literally have like, you guys see Boardwalk Empire with that World War I vet? You know what I'm talking about? Who had like a half face sort of thing. That's sort of like what you're looking at, but without the nice mask that covers it, right? So it's really bad. Like, just part of you just been scoured away. It's just bone. It's all, and the bone itself is like pitted. Now it's and you're in a horrible amount of pain, like a horrible amount of pain. Yeah.
You want to trade the mask of Toresis for the language helmet so no one sees your face?
John, I want to take a gold coin, and I borrow the pin from Ted, and I scratch out the face on one side of the gold coin, and I give it to Wulfheard.
Nice. Cool.
I do have another heal spell. Like, I have a Cure Light Wounds that I can hit you with, bud. And then I think we probably need to find a place to like lay low for the rest of the day.
So the last thing we can do is do that cure if you want to do that real quick.
You're gonna need a little back teen on that, man.
You're gonna get back 5 hit points.
Okay, great.
There's also penalties with our new house rules for death and dying, for like the ramifications of what happened after coming back from unconsciousness like that. We'll hit that at the top of the session next time, because it's David basically came up with this stuff as well, so we kind of need to confer with him as well just to make sure we're getting it right. So this actually happened at a perfect time. So we went a little bit long tonight, but I think it was worth it. That was an epic fucking fight. Really good job, guys. Managed to pull it out. It really came down to the wire. Like, it was neck and neck with Wulfheard and that slime, who was going to go first. You know what I mean? It came down to like initiative, basically.
Well, it sounds like it came down to one die roll.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, that one you had that one crushing that with the pseudopods were still on your head. If I had rolled higher than a 3 on a D10, you would have been dead, like no questions asked. You know what I mean? So I rolled well, which is good.
We'll talk about that in the detox.
Well, we'll see, because it's late. But anyways, that was really fun. So everyone, thank you for watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. You know the deal, folks. You know what you need to do. You need to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. Spread the word. That is the main way we get more views, more subscribers, more popularity, and more awesomeness coming out from us. So please tell everyone you know to go check us out. If you have a few extra bucks, hook us up with a Patreon subscription. You'll get a couple free bennies, including access to secret channels on our Discord server. And also check out our lone publication at the moment, Feats of Exploration. It'll be useful for any OSR level-based game. And that'll do it. Thank you as always to all of our explorers, delvers, and Conqueror Patreons. Ted has the distinct pleasure of reading the Conqueror list tonight. Take it away, Ted.
It's my turn for the subtle abuse of the Conqueror's list here. All right, everybody, here we go. Thank you, everyone, especially Alan Barton, Alexander Bowes, Eric Tsunami MD, Samuel All Hail Goblin Squagulot Dillon, great, Gregory Distelhorst, Mike Small, DMW 71, Richard Barton, Ted Makes Me Squagulot,
That's dirty.
But I'm glad to hear it. Stephen BKK, Doc Jones 73, Jackson Bates, Squadgy Squeagulot of the Gracklian Grottos, John Hooker, Kayla Ripley Wolf, Zachary Hall, Saps, Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mecha Squagulot 605, Ruben Collar, Dar JR, Procyon, formerly Andrew, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Steve Quisenberry, Brad Naden, John and La Logan, Kabrowskis, and congratulations to Kabrowskis for winning the poster at our last Down the Hatch. Good job, buddy. That was the high roll on the Matt's official 3D6 down the line. Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Nick, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, Ted Gast, James Doig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, a Rudishva's Rudishva, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabrielle, Alicia Rashid's Rudishvan Dishes, X Brawler Twins, Iona, Summon Toast, Too Rude to Ishvan, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, Tom Eric Garrettson, Matthew Mattis, Matt Squeegee is a floor stain Walsh, Matt Wagulot Mason.
Oh,
You know, right?
Oh, so mean.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Matt Gardner, Matt Aloney, Matt Koenig, Matt Young, Hat Matler, and Dungeon Heart Madam. Thank you all.
Nice, guys. Well done again for taking up the gauntlet, everyone, and making Ted's life a little bit miserable tonight. All right. Yeah, thank you as always to all of our supporters. And one last note, thank you to everyone that we met and gamed with over at GaryCon. It was really a pleasure to hang out with all of you guys. We hope you guys all had a good time playing games and hanging out with us. And we're looking forward to doing it again next year. So yeah, it was a really good time at GaryCon. All right, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. Take care.
See you. Thank you. Thank you, John.